What's up, guys? Luca here. Luca Tio, yes, the Ashen one, the Ashen Lucario, the Ashen Luca. It's me. I'm here with another episode of the show. Today we will ooh. Today we will be discussing um the state of play that just occurred for PlayStation on this month, right, of September. And we will also be discussing Assassin's Creed Shadows being delayed and how this may be the end of Ubisoft, which I'll be honest, I've been preying on their downfall for quite some time. They've gotten away with far too much. It's just really unfortunate that it's happened around the same time that they had games that featured a woman and a game that features an Asian woman and a black guy. It's just bad timing. It's just bad timing. But I have been preying on their downfall for quite some time, so we'll be discussing that as well. Did anything else happen this week?
State of play.
That's what I said.
Okay. That's about it, really.
Alrighty, great. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. We can talk about the state of play and see, give our thoughts about that. So I won't lie. Actually, I watched some of the state of play. I did.
Oh, well, no, there was one more thing. PS5 Pro information came out about what the new performance levels and stuff like that and image quality is for games. And although this isn't like official testing yet, but yeah, people are capping, people are making a big deal out of it, so it's causing some stuff to happen. Go ahead.
Oh, really? Well, yeah, we can discuss that too as well. Then, if you guys want to give your thoughts on the new levels, because I did not look into any of that because I didn't care, right? So, but yeah, we could talk about all that stuff, guys. Talk about all that stuff. So, what's up, Gregor? All right, let me go ahead and share my stream. Let's see here. Okay, YouTube. But yeah, overall, there wasn't really too much that happened this week. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a pretty interesting week in regard, like, people were real mad about that PlayStation, the PlayStation the PlayStation Anniversary Edition that they tried to get, right? It was actually pretty funny, mostly just because it's like, there was some raging between Jay Bari and Persona because they couldn't get it initially. But I was just like, bros, you guys got to understand something. Just because folks on Twitter, and it wasn't just them, I think it was BG too. I think a couple other people said it, right? But they were just kind of like, I thought you guys didn't want the PlayStation Pro. I thought it wasn't gonna sell. I thought. I'm just like, y'all. They didn't. Okay, they didn't make that many of the Anniversary Edition. That's one thing.
Yep.
It was always gonna sell out. Like, enthusiasts, it's either enthusiasts were gonna get it or the scalpers were gonna get it, right? And like the biggest thing is you can't take what people say on social media as like anything. And we've known about this for several years at this point, where it's like people can say one thing on social media, they can make a big deal about something on social media, and then reality of what happens is completely different. Because what happens and what people talk about and what they discuss on here is pretty nominal in comparison to like what's actually happening in the real world, like what's going on in reality, right? So it's just like there are some instances where it's like the opinion online that's discussed in the community aligns with the popular opinion, but it aligning with the popular opinion does not mean that what people are saying in the community is like true or factual or anything like that. It just happens every now and then. What they talk about in the community aligns with popular opinion, aligns with reality, but that's not actually the norm. It's like when people are like, "Who cares about crossplay or whatever like that?" And then crossplay ended up doing significantly well between, like, what was it, the consoles or some shit like that, consoles and PCs. So it's just kinda like whatever people talk about in the community is just nothing. It's nominal, right? It doesn't mean anything, unless it aligns with the popular opinion. So, that anniversary edition was always going to do well. So I think that, you
Yeah,
know,
they
at
they
this
only made 12,000 units. Like you can easily find one. It looks great. You know, the colors are awesome. It's got the whole retro PS1 theme to it. You can easily find 12,000 people who will want that. That's a drop in the bucket. And I think it was somewhat smart of them to not make so few units, but to tie it all into the PS Direct store, even though the store sucks. Because I heard multiple people say they really weren't interested in the PS5 Pro, really, or any of the other like the Portal or getting a DualSense Edge, but they got up, they jumped in the queue, and they were attempting to get that PS5 Pro or the PS5 standard with the anniversary edition. Didn't get it, and then went and just bought something else because they were already there and they had their money ready. So it was kind of somewhat smart. Like you're already here in the store, why don't you get something different? So people they may have gotten some few extra sales out of people who weren't at all really all that interested. So, but
I
you
mean,
know, it sold out really fast. It's all over eBay for thousands of dollars. I really kind of feel like what fuels a lot of this stuff, with eBay being the place where scalpers go for the most part in order to sell their wares, is I think it's really wrong for eBay to allow people to sell pre-orders. You don't even have the device yet. And there's these rumors out that, or not rumor, there was an article that actually talked about it. I think it was like comicbook.com, where they were saying that some people's pre-order for the anniversary edition is getting canceled. Now, imagine if a scalper got it and you bought, for $2,000, $3,000, you bought that from a scalper only to find out the pre-order got canceled. Like eBay should not be allowing people who don't have the item in their hands, can't take pictures of the item in their hands or, in their possession, to sell those things without actually knowing for certain. Because the pre-order is typically a guarantee you're going to get it, but it's still not quite all the way there. And so when it's not full ownership at that time, it doesn't make sense to do that. But considering they get their cut and they're probably getting, for like, say, if someone actually sold that $12,000 pre-order for the PS5 Pro Anniversary Edition, that's thousands of dollars going into eBay's pocket on one transaction. So I'm pretty sure they really don't care, but it's still messed up all the same.
The PS5
I think there
Pro.
should be some laws against that. But go ahead.
Now, people said it wouldn't sell. Of course, it's selling initially, the PS5 Pro in particular. Because all the enthusiasts and the brand loyalists will obviously go for the Pro, because if that's your primary console, you'll go for it. You may as well upgrade if you want the best. And all the enthusiasts would do that. But then, as the point I made on Shout out to Crossfire, a mooch, the Pro after 6 months isn't going to be doing what it's doing because it's not that product. It's not for the mass market. And then I think it'll sell the same amount the PS4 Pro did. And that's good. And that's all they want. Like, sure, you'd want more, but like the mass people ain't going to buy it. The scalpers are going crazy. I had a quick look at eBay. You have the 30th edition going for like 4,000, 5,000. But the collectors, because they're numbered as well, the collectors will actually pay that. They'll eventually cave. Because if you're a mad collector and you're sat there and you're like, I need that for my collection, that needs to go in my collection, you'll be sat there for a couple of weeks thinking about it, and then you'll just buy it. Because you're like, I have to have it. It's the same principle. It's like that Legend of Zelda game sold for 875,000, unopened, original Legend of Zelda. Collectors will pay. So, I mean, it's a good way to make money. I mean, it's shitty, but I don't blame them. And I feel bad for everyone who didn't get one because the scalpers wanted to flip them. But, I mean, what can you do? They tried to stop the scalpers by doing it through the PS Store. You still didn't stop it, despite doing it through the PS Store. You may have limited it slightly, but
anytime you let people know ahead of time what time you're going live with something, you're basically just giving scalpers the opportunity to get their scripts together to set things up. So like while everyone else is spamming refresh on their computer, scalpers are kicking back, sipping a Mai Tai as their as their scripts are out there securing multiples of what the one item that you want, and then flipping it on eBay or Facebook Marketplace for 2-3 times the cost.
Yep.
That's
And
what it is.
they still have PS5 Pros in stock, so I don't think the scalpers will be able to sell them. I think they'll be able to sell, unless there's like a serious like stock shortage of PS5 Pro. I really don't think people will have to go on eBay to buy one so they can get it for their kid for Christmas. I think they have plenty of
No, they'll have plenty. And I think it's like sometime in a few weeks they're going to make it available in places like Best Buy and GameStop and all that. So there's plenty of a supply available, and then we'll find out later on how it's sold. No one knows how it's sold so far. So anyone claiming they do know, they're capping for a particular side right now, but it's available. And not surprised. It's a mid-gen refresh. I'm not surprised it's available. So
yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just have to see, right? So, like I said, this isn't anything that I was interested in personally. Oh my goodness. Okay. So this isn't anything. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I just saw something on my timeline. Someone just replied to me. I'm be like, okay. Who is up? Sorry. Please talk about something.
Yeah, I was about to say something. So look, this I think it's launching November 7th, and I think it's going to be interesting between now and then, because more than likely, I kind of wonder how they're all going to allocate this. The influencers, the content creators that kind of make content on this kind of stuff are going to start getting this item before launch, and then they can kind of start to do like real testing on it. Like actually, they have the device, in stock. They can play whatever game they want. It's not the games or the footage that they want you to see. It's not, hey, look, we're gonna show you some games and let you watch us play these games. Because that's always, and we see it not just with Sony, but like literally anybody. They want you to see their item at their best. Like AMD, when they come out with a new CPU or a new GPU, they'll have their like charts telling you what the difference is compared to the previous generation and compared to their competitors. And it's always the games that are the most favorable for them in the ways that is most favorable for them. They're not going to show you, like AMD is not going to show you benchmarks of ray trace games compared to NVIDIA, because they already know that they don't do ray tracing as good as NVIDIA does. So they're not going to show that. But NVIDIA would then, when they release a new product, they're releasing the 5090 and the 5080 soon, they're going to show you benchmarks with the 5080 and 5090 compared to AMD's best, compared to their previous generation GPUs, and they're going to have DLSS, whatever latest version is out at that time, and ray tracing on, and frame generation on, and they'll have it in very, 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 very small letters at the bottom. They'll say all those details, but they just want you to see our bigger bar for this product, bigger than everyone else's bar, which is smaller, and that's usually how it works. So I do wonder how, when we get closer to launch, like maybe a week before, who are getting a PS5 Pro? Like, are you going to give it to Gamer Nexus?
Oh, I hope they do.
Well, the last time they gave Gamer Nexus a unit, they gave him a PS5, and he took it apart, I think, and did testing of like the thermals, and said it was not well designed and stuff like that. So I don't know if they're still going to give him one.
They need to, because he exposes everyone. It's like when because Nvidia, everyone's guilty of this. They show you the best. It's like the 4060. And then Gamer Nexus, when I was watching his GPUs in different price categories, you bought it at 4060, and it's like, you do not buy this. It's a lie. You go get yourself a 3080 because it's more powerful than the 4060. You're stupid if you buy one. And it's like, and we know why, because their best GPUs are higher in price, and then they release these like 4060, 3060, and convince people, look at these bars, they're amazing. But when you actually test the games, it's like, yeah, it's not really all that. So I mean, hopefully he gets one, because I could trust him to give like, oh, this is what the game's doing, this is what it is. He could probably match it up, but if he shitted on him once, I don't think they'll give him again. I mean,
yeah, if they don't give it to him, they'll get one on their own, and then test it anyway. So you're just kind of delaying that video for like a week or two or something. So it's no big deal. But yeah, I just wonder, like, pretty sure like Digital Foundry would get one, and maybe someone like that, like a big PlayStation channel like Mystic will get one. But like, who?
Paris.
Of course, Paris would get one.
Oh, of course.
But it's but it's. I'm talking about people who would actually like do testing on it and then test it with like, and compare. Like, Paris doesn't do that kind of content, so like comparing it to any game that they think is really, really hard to run compared to a regular PS5, compared to what a PC equivalent piece of hardware is and whatnot. Those kind of things.
I'm trying to think of anyone who would actually get one though. Do you reckon Linus will? Or don't you think Linus will get one?
He might. I mean, the channel's huge enough to justify it. Yeah, he'll probably get one. Whether they actually, I don't know. Linus is weird, and no one really finds them very credible on this kind of things. Like, I would rather look for a hardware unboxes video than theirs. But yeah, they'll probably get one because they got like 15 million subscribers. So that's they put out a video on it. That's a lot of eyes on it. That's and when you have a mid-gen refresh, it's not typically going to sell the way your standard product is, especially when it's $700. You want to have as many reviews on it, especially if you really believe in your product. So yeah.
Well then, what?
For all things that are the same, let me tell you things. I'm sorry, for all things that have changed, let me tell you things that have not changed. Things stay the same, the way that regardless of how old I am, my ass will still get sucked into a fucking argument on Twitter, man. My bad. Nautical, I sent you the link. I don't know if it went through. Can you send him a link too, Slow-Mo, if anything?
Okay. Let's see.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm talking to people about my. I said, okay, this is what I said. I said, I'm not gonna repeat what I said. Okay, we're just gonna move on. Okay, so anyway,
I don't care about the PlayStation 5 Pro. If you want it, then you want it. I do think Linus Tech Tips will get it. I think MKBHD will get it. I don't know about Gamer Nexus. Digital Foundry, 100% they're gonna get it because I think that's where the majority of people are going to go to see how like the games are running, since they run a dedicated channel when it comes to like testing those features. And then the major YouTubers will get it, the major gaming YouTubers, so the people that you expect. So that will be what's his name, the fraud god, what's his name?
There was a lot of those.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to narrow it down.
He's part of the yellow chair brigade. I really I like his content though. No, it's not Paris. It's the YouTuber who does reviews. But I do like his content. But he's like he was kind of shaky for a while.
Meth Man?
Yotei?
No. Well, no. Yotei's definitely going to get it. Does Yotei do reviews of games?
I don't think so.
So yeah, he's
talks
a YouTuber
about news and stuff and his impressions.
I think he's like Australian or something.
Oh, Skill Up.
Skill Up. Thank you.
Yeah, he's definitely going to get one.
He's definitely going to get one. Don't get me wrong, guys. I like Skill Up, but his nickname's Shill Up for a reason, right? So yeah, he's definitely going to get one. I think ACG will probably get one.
Does ACG review hardware though? I feel like he just reviews like games. I don't recall him reviewing any like consoles or stuff like that.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, but yeah, so I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. I remember when the most random people were getting. Remember when that chick? Okay, so this goes into like that DEI anti-woke stuff, right? There were a couple YouTubers who had like 1,000 subs, less than like just little views. Like it's just kind of like, damn, it's interesting they got a console, right? But then it turns out they had some connections. They hit Sony with the how come I, as a black gamer, am not getting this PlayStation? Hashtag RIP Breonna Taylor. And I was just like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? So yeah, we'll see if anybody like that ends up getting a console. I fucking hope not, because they don't deserve it. So anyone who invokes the name of somebody who was murdered like that is over some console shit is vile. So but yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Again, I'm not getting it, but I am very curious to see the comparison videos. Like I had a couple conversations with people. Shout out to Face23 BKNY. He was asking me if I would get it for certain games, and I was like, absolutely not. If I wanted to play a game with higher frame rates, right? Like I would just get it on PC at this point. Like I'm not getting a PlayStation 5 Pro. It's just not happening. I'll wait for the PS6 though. Like if they give me a From Software exclusive title for PS6 like they did with Demon Souls, bitch, take all my money, right? So we'll see what happens there.
They will.
I hope so.
I think that's definitely in the cards, but I mean there's also a possibility that next gen, some of the things that they say they weren't doing this gen, they do next gen. So it wouldn't surprise me if like stuff like doing a PS5 Pro is kind of there to mitigate potentially having shorter delay times between the game launching on PS5 and then coming out on PC. And so if you're trying to keep people in your ecosystem while also trying to get more PC gamers to buy the games because they're coming out, sooner within your marketing cycle, because they don't really market these games on PC the way they did on PS5 console. They're not putting as much, time into it. So if they start to shorten that, because they talked about being more aggressive, if they start to shorten that time period between PS5 launch and PC launch, they may kind of feel like if we give people a more powerful console and they're not really all that interested in dealing with PC and all the different fine tunings and tweaking things like that, then they may just go ahead and say, well, getting a comparative PC that is really worth it is over $1,000 and this is $700. I could kind of see that mentality on their part. So We'll see what
I mean,
happens, but I just go ahead.
I could see him doing that, but I just can't see him garnering the PC player base in the way that they think they might. That's
Nah,
why I'm
yeah, that ain't
interested.
happening. They've talked about that, and it's just like, yeah, PC gamers ain't really. You're not enticing PC gamers to go to PlayStation if they haven't already did it for your first party games at this point.
Plus, by the time the PS6 comes out, you could probably get like a 4090 pretty cheap anyway. Because if we're talking like 4 years, I mean, you could probably pick up like a 4090 or something on there. Well, actually, by the time the PS6 comes out, they'll probably have like the 70 series cards or something. I don't know. So, because they seem to come out with them like every year or every 2 years. So who knows? I mean, it's gonna be a fun back and forth. I think they're gonna keep this price though for the PS6 because they realize people will actually pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it really depends on how many people actually pick up the console at $700, $700+ Like, if those sales are not what if those sales are not what they're hitting for, if they're not what they're looking for, then I don't think so. I think it might go back to being like $600, $500. Now, Jack Move did offer a very compelling argument as to why they wouldn't go backwards, but yeah, at least I think that was his argument when, the price was first announced, but I just genuinely
Mm-hmm.
cannot imagine them selling this like, the PS6 to the mass market for $700+. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me, personally.
I mean, then again, it also depends how the economy's looking by then as well. Because if people have some
Yeah.
cash about them and, you know, interest rates and stuff, it might end up just being that anyway, because they love jacking up the prices eventually anyway, because we went from, what, 60 to 70? I would imagine games would start costing 80 soon enough. I mean,
Yeah, but that, like, price increase was, that made perfect sense considering games had stayed at the same price for a very, very, very
hmm,
long time. So that
well,
made sense. Oh, what's up, Gene? How you doing, baby? I hope you're feeling better, man. Hope you're doing good. But go ahead.
yeah, I was just going to say, because they managed to get people normalize 70, right? Everyone's happy to pay 70 now.
Man, not me, but go ahead.
Well, no, but like they've normalized it now where every game is 70. So like they'll go, okay, well, we could put it up to 80 and then I'll get normalized. And they could probably keep going because they did the experiment 60 to 70. Everyone seems fine with it. Games are selling just as fine as they were. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, yes, listen. Are they selling just as fine as they were? I don't think so. I think that
Well, I
some games
mean,
are doing significantly well, but then others, shit's looking real spooky, bro. I think people are gonna be more mindful of how they spend their money. I honestly do not think the economy is gonna get any better. I think that it's just bad. But I'm very young in the sense that like people older than me have lived through worse economies, right? Like they lived through the crash and stuff like that. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I think I'm thinking 600 is probably a spot. Uh, like,
For the PS6,
hmm I don't think they're
yeah,
gonna be.
I can see
It's not.
600.
I cannot imagine it being $700. That's like for a mass console, a mass market console, even $600. But maybe that's their plan all along. They're like, we're gonna sell this shit for 700, and then when we do the PS6 for 600, people will be like, okay, I guess that makes sense. I guess I'm okay with paying for that. So
well, I mean,
Yeah,
people will happily pay 70, but never me because shout out to CD Geese and Green Man and all the other.
I don't think people are really happy paying 70. I think only the games that people routinely really spend more than 70 on the game, like NBA 2K and Call of Duty and Madden and EA FC Sports, like these games that are like annual release games. And the people who will routinely buy those games never really buy the standard edition anyway. I mean, the majority still buy the standard edition, but the hardcore of those games will get like the vault edition, $100, whatever 2K edition that's got Kobe on the cover, that's like $100 plus a bunch of VC that they're spending. Like the people I know that play 2K are routinely spending in the hundreds as soon as the game launches to get the game, all the other goodies, and to get enough VC to make their character not look like an embarrassment when they're playing the game. So those games easily can go up $10 and it's no big deal. But everyone else that followed suit, like,
well, the first
game
party
really ain't. Yeah. I mean, like, you following suit, and then you come up with a lot of different ways to justify it. We saw what PlayStation did where they're like, oh, well, DualSense features and yada yada yada, and it's just like, well, yeah, I bought the console. What's that guy? Why the games gotta go a little bit more expensive because I bought a console that already has those features built in. Microsoft, Xbox, saying, hey, we need to raise the prices of our first party games because the level of quality that we're putting into the games and blah blah blah. And the first game that came out at $70 was Redfall. Like, shut up. Ain't none of the BS you claiming it's really about. You're doing it because you saw other publishers do it and it was successful for them, and so you feel like you can do it too and it'll be successful. Xbox raised the price of Game Pass because they saw PlayStation raise the price of PS Plus, and they said, oh, well, they got away with it. We can do it. We feel like we offer more. It's just
it's crazy. And on your point of the annual sports games, FC 25 recently released. Now I got it, and I was like, okay, cool, let's go into it. And then I looked, and there was people complaining because there was a queue to get into FIFA Ultimate Team, which is where everyone spends all the money, right? And people are like, oh, I want to get in there and get all my players and start opening packs and stuff. These people are sat there in a queue waiting just to blow a whole bunch of money. Like, they have them trained to a T. Like, they will sit in the queue and wait an hour or two just to go in to spend money. Crazy. Couldn't be me.
Yeah, I mean, it's what people would do when they really want something. People back in my day, I'm about to age myself. Back in college, when Halo 2 came out, we would like go into GameStop, get your pre-order in, and they'll give you a number. And so you have to go back to that store to get your game when it came out. And that number was your place in line. So I remember being like number 7 or something like that. And I was like, dope. And I think they delayed the game, and I had to get my receipt reprinted because the ink on the receipt wore off. So when I showed up, and it was like, I think they were going to start giving them out at midnight, and I showed up at like 11:55 at like the local mall at my college, and I'm just kind of just like really just rubbing it into all these sweaty, nasty, fanboys that was just lined up waiting to get theirs. I went all the way to the front of the line and was like, yeah, I'm number 7. So I got mine before everyone else. And I was out there by like 12:05. It was great. But people will line up for stuff that they're really hyped for. They'll sit in the queue. They'll do whatever, they got to do. I mean, shoot, when it comes to the latest GPUs, people be ready to spam, F5 on Best Buy and whatnot, trying to get that latest GPU to come out. We're gonna see it in a few weeks with the 5090. So it is what it is.
Not with you, right?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay. I'm just making
I'm not getting. You keep trying to see. I'm not buying a 5090. You keep trying to act like
this is the second time.
Okay, it'll be more. It'll be more than that.
It will be more than that. You're right.
I'm excited for the 50 series to come out because then the prices will drop on the 40 series. So I need that 50 series to come out.
I'm just saying because, like, I hear what you're saying, Singer, and I hope you finally upgrade that dusty GPU you have. But I'm
I'm up to 3080.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Because it's like,
Wait,
well, I'll wait.
you upgraded to a what? Or you about to upgrade?
No, I have
What did you get?
3080.
3080.
Oh, okay, that's a good card. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually shocked because you've been on that. What was it? that you were
1080
on
Ti.
before?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like I took Gamer Nexus. He did a really informative video, right? And he was like, "These are what you should get now, the way the market is." That's why I really appreciate him, because he'll do all that.
The 3080
But
has
then
10 gigs of VRAM? Or is it 12?
12.
Okay.
But then you see, it's like, okay, I can wait for the 50 series, because then you could get the 40 series cheaper, and that'd be a upgrade again. But currently, at the moment, it's perfectly fine, because you're getting like 30, 40, 70 performance, roughly, above a 4060. So, a bit below it. But thing is, it's like, well, do you want to go AMD or do you want to go NVIDIA next?
Who wants to go AMD? Look.
No, you actually do. You actually do, though, because as he brought up a good point, if you don't do ray tracing, you may as well go AMD, because AMD is better in rasterization.
The only people who don't go ray tracing can't afford to go ray tracing.
No, I don't want ray tracing. Even if I could, I don't want it.
Singer, you didn't have a choice until you got the 3080. You didn't have a choice to go ray tracing because it was not available to you.
Yeah, but you know what happened, Slomo? Turned it on, immediately turned that shit off.
Well, I mean, BG can afford it, but he says he doesn't like ray tracing. So,
like, I don't know what you want me to tell you.
BG's got 4070. I mean, he can turn on ray tracing, but he's not going to get triple digit frame rates with ray tracing on a 4070. Singer, you're not getting triple digit frame rates with ray tracing on a 4070. And the thing is that people will turn it on when they can still keep the same frame rate that they want and they find acceptable. They'll turn it on then, because the reason why people say DLSS is so much better as an upscaler compared to the other upscalers, it's not just that it's got high frame rates, because even now FSR 3.1 will be on par when it comes to frame rates when it comes to compared to DLSS. It's not just the frame rates, which are better with it on. It's the image quality, because if you can turn on FSR and get the frames that you need, but if it's a ton of ghosting all over the screen, like that's not the image that you want to see. It's got artifacting all over the screen and it looks hideous. Then it's just, what did you gain just to get high frame rates? The reason why people don't turn it on is because they either just don't want to play at 60 FPS, which is typically where they have to try to get up to turn ray tracing on and have an upscaler on and maintain a good frame rate, which is 60. Or they're on AMD hardware, and when they turn it on, they drop down below 30. And so it's these excuses they make about, oh, but ray tracing is not that serious. You know what's not that serious? Your dumb opinion that's completely uneducated because you don't have any experience with games and ray tracing. That's what's unnecessary. Hold on. What people don't realize is that Unreal Engine 5's Lumen has global illumination ray tracing in it. So whether you're turning it on or not, your hardware is being affected by ray tracing. And in just the same way, like years ago, people were just like, all these other settings, why are people turning all this stuff on? It's unnecessary. And then now it comes standard in every game that comes out. Ray tracing at one point in time will become standard. And so the same people who are like, ray tracing ain't that serious, are going to be turning it on in every game, or either having it on by default in every game 5 years from now. We've already seen console games with ray tracing on by default. Jedi Survivor did it. What's going to happen 5 years from now?
All right, that's nice. That's nice and all, but I am telling you,
that's nice and all. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm with
exactly.
Singer on this. Actually, I don't care either.
That is nice and all, but I don't give a shit about ray tracing. I'm gonna keep 100 with you. 4040p, maxed out everything. Give it to me. That's all I need. I don't care about your 4K. I don't care about your ray tracing.
I'm poor, so I can't afford any of that stuff personally.
No, and that's all you gotta admit. This is Lucas says I'm poor, I can't afford it. That's all you gotta say.
No,
Rodimus the chat, I can't afford ray tracing. That's all you gotta say, man. People be like, it ain't. It's a gimmick. No, it's a gimmick. Your wallet. That's a gimmick.
No, I've seen ray tracing, and it's pretty, but I really don't care. It doesn't do much for me. So that is just the way it is. So if you like your ray tracing, enjoy your ray tracing. Me, I don't care. I play League of Legends. Imagine League of Legends with ray tracing, right? Amazing. Let's go.
What?
But yeah.
The isometric view? League of Legends, right?
Yeah.
Nobody can. Ray trace what? You little sprites, a little 1 inch long icons moving across the screen. Like, who cares?
No. It's because you can actually see the characters and they bring out the pop in all the skins. You know?
Okay.
So yeah, but anyway, regardless of the fact,
you want me to pull up some League of Legends gameplay while I'm still sharing my screen singer, and you tell me how that's gonna look with ray tracing?
Oh yeah, that's gonna look amazing. That's gonna look bomb. Don't even try it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, for console gamers, I don't think they care about ray tracing just because they're not used to having it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's why people say like you're not gonna care about something that you don't really experience like that.
So yeah, do you let me know how the 5080 is when you get it, and if you could sell me your current card for cheap, that'd be great. What's up, Nautical?
What it do?
Baby boo?
Nothing much.
Oh man, wouldn't you love some ray trace of this, right?
Oh yeah, look at that. Nah.
Look
but
at
like,
this. Yeah, ray trace this bland ass screen. Oh my gosh. Ray trace that baby. Like, what are we talking about here?
Oh yeah, we need to ray trace this. See, this is pinnacle gameplay right here. This is peak skill level. Look at those skins. Okay. Oh, no one has skins on. Okay, put them all from the game. Ban them.
How would you even tell if I see jiggle physics with this like 2-inch sprite right here.
Hey, slow-mo. You know that 2-inch sprite with the physics? Yeah, I got all the skins for it, and they look bomb. And
why? You can't even see it.
Yes, you can, and you have the splash art. Like, and that character, for all those who are wondering, it's Misfortune. Go check it out. Hit up Google. You'll see what I mean.
Okay. Not hating on legal. I know it's very popular. I'm just saying, just like when it comes to race racing, of course, you're not going to race that.
All right. Well, anyway, what's up, Nautical? How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Just eating some lemon heads and listening to this conversation about race racing.
It's literally the most. It's like the most overrated thing in gaming.
Exactly. Fucking riveting.
Is the food good?
What food?
The food you were eating.
I'm not eating food. I literally just walked in the house.
Because you just like swallowed or stopped talking.
Are you in my house right now, Slow-Mo?
I can just tell that you're eating food. I can just tell that you're eating food.
No, I am not eating anything. Literally, I haven't eaten it. I ate around 5 o'clock, and I'm pretty much done for today. So I haven't eaten anything.
You guys tell that I'm eating something too?
No.
Oh, really? Because I'm eating these lemon heads.
But we're not surprised you are, because you're always eating. So at least doing the show.
Are you calling me like a fat ass?
Damn.
Are you saying
we're there? We're there.
Are you saying that
we're
I'm
there?
Fat and ugly and disgusting? Is that what you're saying? I'm a little snacker.
Oh man, here we are.
I'm not even going to answer these questions because there's just.
I'm going to need you to delete that message, by the way, because that is factually inaccurate.
Exactly, Capono.
Actually, no, it's not inaccurate, Gregor. You're completely right. But still, delete it.
just because I occasionally, and by occasionally I mean every show, leave in the middle of it to go eat doesn't mean anything. Okay, I like to keep my nutrition up. I did some weighted squats today.
Let's
What do you know
go.
about weighted squats, not or slow-mo? What do you know about
So
that?
what?
What do you know about doing squats with weights at your ripe old age of 62?
Will his knees take it?
62.
He can't even do squats at his age right now. Busted ass ankles. All right, so I was doing some
Wow.
squats today, so maybe
So it's not the
this-
knees, it's the ankles now.
you know,
Okay.
it's both actually. It's the full lower body package. All right.
Okay. Okay.
So anyway, but we are you getting the pro nautical?
No.
They'll give him one.
I changed my well, they give me one that's completely different. No, I was all on board of getting one, and then I started I think it's just it was more of the excitement of it coming out. But I always like I tell everybody the reason I bought a PS5 is for God of War, and there's no a new God of War coming until probably PS6. So the amount of time that I'll actually spend on my PS5, would I really get benefit out of having it? That's kind of the question. And plus, it's not like PlayStation doesn't do well with their games on a base PS5. Like those games are still going to look just as good. They're going to play just as good. You're just going to get probably 45 frames per second versus 60 frames per second on them under their performance quality, under the performance mode. So, and then having a 4090, a lot of their games, if I don't like most of their first party games, like outside of like Last of Us and stuff like that, I can just wait. I'll just wait a year and a half and play it on something that's better than PS5 Pro. So it really just comes down to it. Now that I got told this on Braff the other day, the only thing that might change my mind is what happens with Grand Theft Auto. So like next year when GTA comes out, if there is a substantial difference in performance between the PS5 and the PS5 Pro on that game, and like I know it's probably I mean like really substantial to the point where I'm like, yo, there's no reason to play this game on anything less than the PS5 Pro. Then I might bite the bullet, but it's like as of right now, it's like I don't need it because plus there's really no games coming out on it that I feel like are going to take full advantage of that system, at least that they've shown off so far.
All right.
Yep.
Are we gonna get into this state of play now?
Yeah.
I guess we can get into the state of play. Yeah, we can get into the state of play.
No,
So
let's be for real. I hope they give me one so I ain't gotta even worry about this. So
and that's real. You know, that's truly real.
let's hope that happens.
I'm at this point, guys. I just need to start dating so I can be one of those whores who have their boyfriends buy them everything. You know what I'm saying? I need like a Steam Deck. Why? Just because I want one.
Why they
need
gotta
one.
be whores?
Oh, I just thought that people would call me a whore for asking my boyfriend to buy me something. I thought that's the
What?
language these days. No, that's not.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh,
If they want to spend their hard, if they feel like you are worth spending their hard-earned money on them, that's you. That's on them.
See, exactly. I feel the same way. I'm just saying, some of these haters.
Yeah, listen. A guy making the decision to spend his money on a woman, that ain't the woman's fault. She just asked. He the one that had to actually do it.
No, you're spitting right now. No, the thing of it is, Leaky, is just like I actually don't need one. It's more so I was just like I just kind of want it just to have it because I'm a technology whore. So, you know. But anyway, I did start watching the State of Play, and I don't know what I was doing. I think I was leaving work or something. When was the State of Play? Wednesday?
Tuesday,
Okay.
Tuesday, one of those.
Tuesday? Okay, I definitely was not leaving work because I was working from home. I don't know what I was doing, but I started watching it, and I was like, oh, it's nice that they're showing off some new IP, and I turned it off because I had to go do something. But then when I went on Twitter later, everybody, I mean, not everybody, but some people were like, oh, it was really good. Other people were like, oh, this was trash. So, I mean, what did you guys think about it?
It was okay. I mean,
it was.
okay. I can expand. There was some games I thought they were all right. I thought Hell Is Us looked okay. I thought Arch Age Chronicles looked pretty good. But out of like the new things that were shown that weren't PlayStation first party, those were the only two that I really care for. Of course, that's pretty subjective, but hey, look, I'm only really looking at things for my own gaming interests anyway. Ghost of Yotei looked awesome, and can't wait for that. So it was good that was showing. That really raised the quality of the show overall. But the rest of the stuff is just things that you already saw. Dragon Age Veilguard, some Astrobot DLC that looks pretty dope. Little things like that, but it was okay.
For me, it was a nice, steady 3 out of 10. Shout out to Ghost for taking it up.
Oh my god.
3 out of 10.
Well, I mean, I have to keep it 100. It's like I can't give you credit for Dragon Age. I can't give you credit for Monster Hunter because I've already seen those games. I played it. But the rest of the games, I'm looking at them and it's like I don't want to play none of these. None of these appeal to me. And every time I've said it multiple times on the show, when I go to these shows, I want them to sell me on games that I actually want. Unfortunately, PlayStation failed in that endeavor. Like the games I want from there is Dragon Age and Monster Hunter. It was whatever. I mean, I watched it in the hopes, but
You've played Dragon Age?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Have we ever
What?
talked about?
Yeah, we have.
He played Dragon Age Origins on PC with all the mods and stuff.
Yeah, I played
the
them
other
on.
ones too?
Yeah, on PC with the mods. Yeah, because I
We talked about this last week, but you didn't. I feel like maybe it's just because me and Slomo were just yapping the entire time.
I mean, when it comes to a Dragon Age conversation, I let you two handle it. So it's like I played them, but it's like I mean, you two know more about it than I do because I just played them and then just moved on to the next thing.
They know the lineage,
exactly.
The storyline of each house, the characters. It's like when I listen to them talk about Dragon Age, I'm like, yeah, this is. I wish I liked Dragon Age enough to be able to recite all this stuff by memory.
The thing is, it's like I feel that way about Pillars. Like I could do what they do for Dragon Age with Pillars, but that's because, like, I was. It was more recent than Dragon Age for one, but obviously, it's I don't know, different strokes for different folks. But
I don't know. I think just for Dragon Age, it came out at I'm not gonna say the wrong time. It's just that's back when I used to be heavily into like sports and stuff, so I was playing that stuff mostly. With the outside thing, like a BioShock or Mass Effect picked up for me. But I had Dragon Age, and it's just a game that I tried it, and other games just kind of took over. So one of these days, because it's definitely a franchise I would be interested in. One day I just got to go in and on PC because I have them all on PC because I got a part of a humble bundle at one point. So one day I probably do need to just go in, mods ablazing, and play the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth it because it's a great time because I love all RPGs. And
yeah,
obviously it's right up my wheelhouse. That's why I'm like, okay, I'm looking forward to the new Dragon Age. I'll see what it hits for. I mean, I have to judge it on what it is, but it's like it's the new BioWare. It's not the old BioWare. So we'll have to. I mean, for what they've been speaking, they're speaking the right words and the right language. I'm interested, invested, but they have to deliver. So
I will say that that trailer, the money spent on it was good because I was like, yo, this trailer's actually
with fighting the dragons.
Yeah, I said this trailer looked great. I said too bad the game ain't gonna look nothing like this, but I said, boy, this thing look good though. That trailer looked fire. I ain't gonna lie. I love that trailer.
Nice. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, I didn't watch it. The showcase, that is. But yeah, I did see a couple titles, and by a couple, I mean one or two where I was just kind of like, what are they doing? But
what are they doing?
What are they doing? Like that Horizon. I mean, I understand why they're remastering Horizon. Don't get me wrong, I get it, but I'm just kind of like, okay. Now I understand, like technically,
I don't understand,
technically
but
the
I'm glad you do.
remaster looks better in terms of like what someone was like saying like lighting and textures and all that stuff. And I'm like, man, I think the older version looks better actually, personally. But that's just me. I don't know.
Hey, Luca, I have a question for you. Do you think they
Yes, sir?
remastered Aloy's personality?
You
So
know
it's
they
not.
did not. You know they did it. You already know. Okay.
They changed her.
Oh man.
They said, well, maybe we make her face look a little bit better. People
Well,
might.
what they did was give her makeup and keep her personality the
Mhm.
same.
Yo, so
I mean,
Slomo, do you know there's a $10 upgrade on PS5
No,
for this PS5
No.
Pro event? Do you
No.
think you think PC
No.
just go get that upgrade for free?
Oh no, they get they doing a $10 upgrade on PC as well.
Nah, F that.
No, they already did. They already said that was the case. Yeah.
No, I know that if that's what they said, I'm like, then I'm not getting. It's no way. I would have probably tried to get. It's like I'm looking at it like, why are you charging me $10 more for something that my PC could already have done?
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
not like you're doing anything. Okay, you just made the game a
Oh
little
my
better
God.
for your console, but my
You know
PC
what?
could always have
I
done
don't
this.
even care. Yeah, 1900. I'm 1900. Well, hold on. Give me a day. There we go.
What?
I'm 124 years old. No, I guess I had to put an age in so I could.
Oh,
show this trailer.
so you can see the. Oh, so you can see the thing on the Steam page. Okay, got you.
No. I'm on the. I'm sharing my screen.
Oh, I'm not looking at the screen. That's why. Okay, I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, some of the trailers that they want to age, like even the kids not going to just straight up lie. Just be like, yeah, I'm
thing is,
35, and they're like 11.
thing is, I don't even put my real date anymore on them to access the page. I just click OK whenever it comes up with whatever it comes up with. It's like one of them was like 1984, and I'm like, sure, you know, just
sure.
yeah, sure, you know. But
It's not like
hey,
I'm not it's not like I'm not logged in with my actual account and you can actually see what my actual birthday is. That irritates me to all hell. I'm like, dog, Steam even asks you what your birthday is when you make your account. I'm like, yo, it's my account. You already know this information.
But I don't understand the Horizon thing though. That was
Nah.
crazy to me because it's like the game came out in what 2018 or what
2017.
2017. It still looks good. Like you don't need to remaster. I understand why you're doing it because you need a first party game out there to sell your PS5 Pro.
They need money. All right, they need money.
They need
okay?
Horizon to show
they
up
need,
once.
They need to get that fucking Concord money back, baby.
Oh yeah, They need
to
that
get
Concord money.
Get big head Herman Holes and get rid of him.
Oh yeah, they need to get rid of Herman because this guy
big head, male pattern baldness Herman Holes. Then to get him up out of there.
Herman thought he was on the hot shit with Concord. He thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. And then the gaming community said, no, it's not. And I'm sure he sat there. To quote Jack Move, he probably performed seppuku back at HQ. Like, it's crazy how 400 million for that, if that's true. Like, yeah, they need to claw it back. That's why you're seeing all these price increases, if you notice, and all these remasters and everything.
Man, it's wild out here.
Mm-hmm.
Big Modoc head Herman Holes.
Real quick, are we gonna play the Remnant update? Are we gonna play that?
I'm down.
Yeah, you can do that.
All right, say less.
I mean, we already it came with the last I believe you don't need to pay for that if you already got if you pay for all the DLC ahead of time, right?
Yeah, no, we have it. I was just
okay.
wondering.
Good.
I got this 23 gigabyte update for my fucking computer for the game. So, all right, but yeah, I like the Blighted Dragon. Okay, can I be honest? I'll be honest. I like the Blighted Dragon trailer, but I was a little concerned about I was like, oh, that dragon's looking a little spongy. That dragon is looking a little spongy. It's looking like you're not doing a lot of damage unless you're doing your ultimates or whatever. So that's a little concerning. I'm sure there's so many factors that go into it, like difficulty, what the level of whatever character this is actually playing on.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing, right? So I was a little concerned, but I was like, all right. Plus, like the gameplay I'm most interested in is for the rogue. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that interacts with it. And also another thing, I don't like the designs of the dragons. Okay, I don't like them. I just there's just something about them that just not vibe with me. It's just like I don't know. It just seems I don't know. It just doesn't vibe. It doesn't vibe with me, right?
They do seem off. I will say they
Yeah.
seem a bit too cartoony. Like when I
Mhm.
see dragons in games, they're generally like dark, creepy. You know, they're like big hulking. They have all the scales on, and they just look menacing. These dragons don't look menacing.
Getting
Yeah, I think
frozen.
it's the art direction that they went with,
Yeah.
and you know, I feel like I'm a broken record at this point because there's so many tourists, you know, speaking on Dragon Age right now, but like
Tourists.
anyone complaining about like why they went with this, not saying you, Luca, or anything, but like there are people who are like, why doesn't it look like Inquisition? Or why do they prefer the art direction of Inquisition over this one, was just like they've never gone with the same art direction back to back. Like this is more akin to like how the art direction was for Dragon Age 2, but not exactly the same. But it's just like this, they never do the same combat and they never do the same art direction. And it's just like at this point, when that's been every single game and they're on their technically third game, you should just realize, fourth game, you should just realize that this is a staple of the series more than it being a CRPG, as some people try to pretend it is. So
Well, I think it's more so, and I agree with you on that. But it's also the fact, that what they were trying to do, that multiplayer bullshit. I think that's like
right,
a
it may be a
holdover
remnant
from
of
that
that
as
too.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because if you're gonna have, you need all the memory that you need for like having multiple people in the game, and the kind of like level design you would do for like a massive multiplayer combat and gameplay. Yeah, they probably went with this art direction, and it just like it was too much work having to undo all that once, EA finally gave them the freedom to make a single player game like they've always used to do. So
yeah.
it's
But it's like, it's not even the cartoony aspect of it. I just don't like how a dragon's head looks. Basically, like I just don't.
Um,
I don't like it. Yeah.
I'm not crazy in saying that. That someone might come up, but I think the Skyrim dragons look better than this. To be honest, like look
nothing in
at this.
Skyrim, nothing in Skyrim looks better than anything.
No. Like if you look at the
It's an ugly game with an ugly engine. Even ugly back then in 2011 when it came out. I think it was 2011.
No.
Yeah, it was 2011.
If you look at that dragon there and then bring up a picture of Parthenax or Alduin, you will see the difference. Like they actually look like proper dragons. That does not look like what you would expect a dragon to look like. I tell you, Alduin and Parthenax look better than that.
More than
Just
likely,
saying.
that's just one like unique looking dragon, and not all the dragons look like that. But
The dragons are blighted, so
right.
Oh yeah.
So,
and I think
the
those are like
game
the
would be.
two. Let's see here. I think those are the two dragons. Like the red one is fine. It's just that blue one I don't like.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. I'm looking forward to the game. We'll see how it all plays out story wise. I'm more concerned about the story overall than any of the other things that people are concerned about.
Those fucking fakers, those tourists complaining about bullshit that does not matter. Exactly. Go ahead.
Yeah, they don't know what they talk about. They weren't gonna play the game anyway, so they just making excuses to try to justify their bigotry in other areas. But I'm concerned more about the story. Like they built up a lot of story arcs, and I know there's a lot of cameos from previous characters for the previous games that will show up in this game. But something that kind of concerned me was them kind of wrapping up a lot of what happened in Inquisition, and that they claim, it's I don't even want to really say because I feel like it might technically be a spoiler. So I don't know the exact like events that occur, but they talked about wrapping up some storylines that were outstanding from the previous game pretty early on. And I don't know, like it gave me vibes of like Halo Infinite, where they wrapped up a lot of the outstanding story parts of Halo Guardians, like off screen before the game started. And it was just like, nah, fam, I'm not. That didn't really work out. And then what they kind of left you with was just like, well, this is okay, but it's not that serious. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'll have multiple playthroughs regardless. So like the combat wise, I probably will start with Rogue my first time playing through it, and then do Mage next. So
Yep, same for me. Rogue, Mage, and then maybe I'll do Warrior, right? But also, okay, so here are my concerns for Dragon Age. I don't listen. This is was it beating a drum or something? I don't fucking a dead horse. I don't know, man.
Dead
But
horse, yeah.
whatever the saying is, I don't like that you only can carry you can only have 2 companions. I don't like
Yeah, that was very Mass Effect of them.
yeah, very Mass Effect of them. I don't like that you cannot control your companions. I don't like that you can't freeze the combat and be more tactical with it. I don't like those aspects of it. I understand, like, whatever
I
excuses
heard you
they're-
could freeze the Actually, I feel like I've seen that already in some of the previous gameplay.
I haven't seen it, so you'll have to link me to what you saw when you find it
Okay.
again. But
Okay.
yeah, I don't like those aspects of it. What else don't I like? I don't like that they're not doing the keep anymore. That was actually one of my favorite parts of playing the game. For Inquisition, I really enjoyed that aspect of it, especially as someone who's been, like, as you guys like know, I'm a big fan. Listen, Mass Effect 2 is my favorite game of all time, but I like Dragon Age as a series more because I am more of a fantasy person when it comes to the kind of content I consume. Like I like sci-fi, but not as much as I like fantasy, right? Plus, I really enjoy the Dragon Age story, like, a lot, right? So for me, one of my favorite things to do was like to input my previous choices from the last games and put them in the new game and like, have them roll over and play with that. Now, I know I saw some people talking about whatever statement the developers had about it, about why they weren't doing it. And all their statements are bullshit because the truth of the matter is they rebooted this game multiple times. This game, again, as we stated earlier, was supposed to be a multiplayer game, a monetized multiplayer game. I'm like, yeah, they probably just didn't have any time to do all the fucking storylines they wanted to do. They didn't have time to do what they did in Inquisition or do what they did in Dragon Age 2 because they had to account for the fact that this game was rebooted multiple times. Like, you guys know, the people who've been here for a very long time know that for several years I was like, yeah, this game's dead on arrival, it's fucking over, there's just no point. Like, as soon as I heard them say they were going to make it like a multiplayer game, I was like, yeah, I'm not buying that bullshit. It's going to be garbage, it's going to fail, and it's going to be the end of BioWare. And especially after Andromeda and Anthem, you guys know I've been very down on BioWare, but just from what I've seen from like a story aspect and a story angle, it seems like they are really committed to the story that they're telling now, and them not having certain aspects of the older games and not including certain aspects of the older game. It's not because they're dumb, it's not because they're lazy, and it's not because they hate you. It's just because EA fucked them and they fucked us, okay? That's like the actual reasoning there. That's my opinion on the matter, because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for it to be anything else. This concept of they just hate the older gamers, like, I've not seen enough evidence to prove that, especially since they're bringing Morrigan back, they're bringing Varric back. Spoiler alert, I guess, but the Inquisitor will be there as well. And then you could also bring up, like, with Dragon Age Inquisition, I feel like this is a valid critique, actually. But in Dragon Age Inquisition, the version of Hawk they had as the canon version, people weren't happy with that. There were some aspect blood magic. I hate Well, you can be a blood mage in Dragon Age 2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know how fucking ridiculous that sounded for people because of that shit. Like they've been doing this. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about it.
Hey, Slomo.
Yeah.
Could you see what I posted in the private chat? Pull that up real quick, if you can, because Brian said in the chat. So
This just looks like a typical dragon. I mean, it's not a bad design or anything, but I feel like I've seen this dragon like in every game that has a dragon. It's like
Yeah,
I see his cousins all the time.
it's like that's what I mean. I'm just saying, like when I look at the Dragon Age Veilguard trailer, and then I look at that dragon design and that dragon design, it's like, let's see, it's more like menacing, it's evil, but not necessarily evil. Like, I don't know.
I mean, is the dragon supposed to fight you? Like, what is he doing?
Oh, this is the part. No, he destroys everything. This is when he first finds out about you. Yeah, this is like right at the beginning of the game. This is when you actually fight him and whatnot. But yeah, now this is Alduin just being Alduin, you know. But hey, I'm just saying, look how good that dragon looks.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it looks like a dragon, looks like a typical dragon, I would say. But yeah, so I
Yeah, and this dragon look like he got herpes.
yeah, I mean,
So
it's a lyrium dragon, okay? It's blighted, all right? I'm
This
sorry.
dragon loved the unclean dragon is what he did.
Mhm.
Go
I
ahead.
was, was all up in Gillinane's, so all up in the Gillinane's tentacles, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway, but yeah, what I'm saying is like, okay, but especially a blood mage hawk. If you play as a blood mage hawk complaining about blood magic, that shit is so fucking funny to me. Like, it was just, and they're gonna whatever characterization they bring over for the Inquisitor, people are gonna hate that shit as well. All right, there's definitely gonna be a contingent of people who are like, this was not the Inquisitor I played. So it just
Right.
is what it is, man. They've not shown me anything so far that makes me think they hate old fans or anything like that. I just think that their hands were tied personally. So
Right, and it's just difficult to kind of like carry personality over. Like typically in previous BioWare games, when they would do a sequel, they would carry over your choices, but like typically you were always still the same character, so you could just you knew what your choices were and what your personality that you chose for your Commander Shepard or your various and with Dragon Age you have a new protagonist almost every time anyway, so it didn't matter. But when you're starting to bring in like a canon version of a protagonist that people used previously, well, you're going to have to be set on a particular piece of dialogue. If not, then like the narrative trees would get ridiculous for your interactions with Hawk, for example. If you got the sarcastic Hawk, the stoic Hawk, and the I guess evil Hawk, dialogue choices all based upon how you played your game previously. One, with the way generations is like, are you going to have to put all that in the keep on the website like they did before when they did Inquisition? Or are you like how it's difficult to figure out how you will implement that. And then again, when it comes to the development side of things, they're doing so many different a male and female version of that character with so many different lines of dialogue for all the different personalities, all for just for, even though I'm not saying it's not important, just to kind of satisfy the hardcore. They kind of probably feel like most people don't care that much. It should just be like, we'll port over the way your character looked, be happy with that. But I don't know. Well, I'll have to see how it gets implemented when we actually play it in a few weeks.
I agree. Again, the story is the most important aspect of it. Me personally, now I may sound like maybe I'm in the minority here. I don't really like Solus all that much. Like,
No, I can't stand him. He's an
I
asshole.
just don't like him very all that much. The fact that there is like people who romance Solus and like genuinely like him, it's the same for me. Like, the people who romance Anders, I'm looking at them like, huh, okay. I mean, we all enjoy different things, I guess, right?
Yeah, so
But like
you're into terrorists, I guess. Couldn't be me.
And what if they are? Okay, what if they are? It's all good. I just don't like Anders. I don't like Anders' personality, and I don't like Solus's personality. Solus is a race supremacist, and that's okay. That's okay. But he's also the reason that there's a lot of fucking problems. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he's the one who destroyed the elves, basically. So but yeah, he's a race supremacist. Now don't me when I first played Inquisition, first playthrough, I was a human warrior, right? Solus was my dog. Like that was like one of my he was always with me. I was always with Solus, and damn, who else was I with? I was with Solus and Dorian, right? Solus, Dorian, and
Hey, Luca, real quick. I feel
yes.
like that mage shield, that bubble. Did they just steal that from Hogwarts Legacy? I'll show it again. Where was it? Here. Wait, when the dragon throws the fireballs. That little bubble shield, like shield bubble, they got that. Like, I feel like they got that from Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, okay. Were they able to implement that? Didn't Hogwarts Legacy come out last year? 2 years ago, something like that.
2 years, maybe, or I don't know. Beginning of last year, maybe.
Beginning of last year, I would say. Yeah, maybe if they had enough. I mean, having a bubble shield isn't necessarily like a unique sort of thing. I would say, but completely plausible. But yeah, I was always with Solus. I was with Solus, Dorian, and it might have been Sarah or something like that, right? But yeah, I was always with Solus. He was my dog, one of my favorite companions in Inquisition. When he betrayed me, I was genuinely hurt. I was upset. I was like, "Yo, Solus, fuck you." And I didn't play with him my next 2 playthroughs. I like kept it. I mean, we were cool, but I kept him at the keep. You know what not the keep. I kept him at the oh my goodness, the stronghold. I just kept him there, right? So he really, it really hurt my feelings to see him betray me, and especially the fact I was like, bro, I thought we were cool. He's like, I'm sorry, but I fuck with the elves. You're a human, so you're a good human, but still, like, he's a fucking racist. All right, he's a racist. So whatever, right? Like
wait, Slomo, what?
Hold on. So then, like, I think the reason they changed the name from Dreadwolf to Veilguard is because they also want to de-emphasize Solus a bit. Like, he's still important, but he's not like the main factor in the entire game, and I think that was a good idea. Is the Veilguard naming convention is still horrendous in my opinion, but ultimately I feel like they've made some interesting choices here, and I hope the story is good and the companions are memorable, and it's not like Andromeda. I can't remember anybody's name from Andromeda. So, all right, go ahead.
Why are they having to go at you about mages using force fields, Slomo?
Say again.
Why are they bringing up mages using shields?
Who are they? The chat?
Yeah. What did you say about shields?
I said the way the shield was implemented in the gameplay for Veilguard reminded me of Hogwarts Legacy. I wonder if they kind of like took the implementation from Hogwarts. That's why I'm showing some of my Hogwarts gameplay, because I wanted to kind of see if it was kind of done the same. I didn't say that like Hogwarts Legacy was the first game to do like a bubble shield for a mage defense or something like that. You know how people have really interesting hearing when it comes to things. I didn't say that, but I just wanted to do, because you see some things that are implemented, and some of it may not be completely original, but then if something is done, and Hogwarts Legacy is a really, really popular game that did really well, they may have been like, oh well, let's kind of bring that back. It's just it is what it is.
All right.
Oh,
So,
okay.
do you think their heads are too big? That's also another complaint I saw.
Yeah, sometimes, but some characters, yeah, I feel like the heads look weird.
And more importantly, are the fucking wardens derpier? Okay, that's that fucking bum ass warden.
Do the wardens ever really survive? I mean, like,
yeah, you're right. No, you're right.
Ostagar and Origins,
Okay, but like,
and
they were betrayed, so that's not their fault.
I mean, they fell for it though. It just, I don't know, man. They always seem kind of like we're only good to stop a blight.
And that's all they need to
Outside
be
of
good
that,
for. That's all they need to
right.
be good for. It's okay. All right, so let's move on to the next one.
What else?
So another
Oh,
Oh
Dynasty
yes,
Wars.
Dynasty
Wars.
Wars. Let's talk about Dynasty Wars for a second. Because
Why?
people,
Okay, fine.
no, I see people love. See, I absolutely adore Dynasty Warriors. Right, I've played every single one from one. I've even played their tactics games. Yeah, if you didn't know, they made tactic games on the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. It was actually rather fun. And then they make the Empires modes and Extreme Legends. I play all of them, right? Thing is, you should not trust these people. Do not trust them. Take everything they say with a grain of salt. Don't believe the bullshit they feed you, right? Because Dynasty Warriors 9 came out, their recent entry. It was like, okay, this should be a fun time. Yeah, except they locked pretty much everything behind a million microtransactions. And that's why if you go on Steam, you look at the score is mostly negative, if not totally negative now. Because all they did was lock everything that people cared about behind a whole bunch of million microtransactions. And they're going to do the exact same thing with this game. It's going to release. People will be like, oh, I want this. I want this. Yeah, go pay the microtransactions. So do not believe Koei Tecmo for a second because they have ruined the franchise. And I'm incredibly pissed. The game looks good, but the game always looks good. But hopefully they haven't fucked with the mechanics. In Dynasty Warriors 9, the mechanics were shit as well. Wasn't as good as 8. So hopefully they have got their shit in line and they realized their mistake because 9 was a travesty. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. Fuck Koei Tecmo.
I just want to point out the fact that Brian East didn't even realize I changed the gameplay from that Veilguard trailer to some arena, the Dark Arts arena gameplay from Hogwarts Legacy. So I feel kind of justified in my my thoughts that the gameplay looks similar. Just
I'm
saying.
gonna keep it real with you. Even if no one had agreed with you, you would still feel justified because that's just kind of the ego that you have. But we can just move on to the next game.
That's not denying anything. So cool. I'll take it.
What's there to deny? I also told Brian, I was like, oh, I didn't notice he changed it either. So
Exactly.
okay. Move on to the next game, Slow-mo.
Okay, fine. Fantasian Neo Genesis. So if for people who don't
Neo
know,
Dimension?
did I say Genesis?
Yeah.
Oh my god, Neo Genesis. Wait, why did I say Genesis?
Neon Genesis Evangelion.
It was something about Genesis was in your mind.
Okay, look. The guy who made this is Miss Walker, I believe, is the name of that developer. They made Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey from back on the 360. They've been doing mobile games since then, and Fantasian was, I believe, exclusive to Apple Arcade or iOS.
Yep, it was. This is a mobile game.
Yeah, so it's coming to. It's on Switch. I know because I saw it shown at the last Nintendo Direct. And now it's coming to PlayStation as well. I own this game on mobile, and I may have played 5 minutes of it and never got back to it. It wasn't a bad game. I'm not saying that. I can't really speak on it in detail because I haven't really played the game really. But I do like Miss Walker, and the work that they've done in the past has been excellent. So I think it'd probably be worth a look.
Sweet. All right. Next
Also
one.
coming to PC.
Yeah, this looks like something you would like, Singer.
No, it's actually not. No. Because I remember when it released and I was hyped, and then they revealed it was a mobile game, and I immediately checked the fuck out.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Gotcha. All right, next.
So you will play League of Legends, and this looks better than League of Legends. Okay. Fear the Spot. I don't even remember. Oh,
That's
we
when
can
you
skip
checked out,
this.
huh? Yeah, we can skip it.
Yeah, we can skip
No,
that.
skip that.
Skip
Skip that
Fortnite,
shit
yeah.
too.
What the? I mean, this is Fortnite. Okay, all right.
Okay,
No,
Hell is
Hell
Us.
is Us. This
Okay.
looked actually pretty good, but I think this one kind of goes heavily in the Souls arena that some people who may have only just liked Elden Ring probably won't really want to be into this. Apparently, this game does not have a map, a compass, a HUD. It may have a HUD, but it won't have any kind of quest markers or anything like that. They're really in a lot of environmental storytelling. So
Elden
those
Ring
are
has all of those things.
Yeah.
Elden Ring has a map.
Yeah, it also has a compass.
This game does not have a map or a compass. Or
Yeah, so why is it being compared? Like, what's the Souls aspect of it?
I think the environmental storytelling and how
Okay.
some of the gameplay is. So yeah, it may not be Souls-like, but people will give it the whole it's like Souls kind of thing. So
Yeah, people who don't play Souls games, but go ahead.
yeah. So I think it looks interesting, but I also just based upon those the fact that it's not really that's people say holding your hand, but I think there's a balance to it. You don't need to hold someone's hand to tell them like what to do, like at least a general direction of what should be done. And it just seems like this game is not attempting to do any of that stuff. So we'll have to see. I mean, the trailer looks cool. I thought it was interesting, but I need to see more.
This game is literally just, Mum, we have Death Stranded at home. So yeah, I mean,
Death Stranding.
Look at it, and you can see the Death Stranded in it. Like, it's Death Stranded at home with some Souls-like combat. It's crazy.
Well, I want to see more before I make a decision on it, but it looks interesting. Luca, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I think this was the last one I saw before I walked away from my television. So nothing. I need to see more of the story though. I have no idea what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, me
But
either.
I mean that's the point, So we're supposed to see more later. But yeah, I thought it looked interesting.
Cool. No one cares about VR.
That's not true. People do care about VR. I mean, I don't care about VR, but people do.
Yeah,
So it's cool that they. It's cool that
He said nobody cares about VR.
They're still adding
Ramon,
content to it.
I'm pretty sure Ramon is hyped for this because he wants like a true remake to Legacy of Kain. But
the thing is, with this trailer, I agree with Jack on this. I struggled to figure out what was new and what was old because it all kind of blurs together. There really isn't a difference. Like, they call it a remaster, but if you look some of the side by side, you're like, wait, they remastered it? Really, look, it's really, really weird. Some of the screenshots, it's especially in combat, it's hard to tell what was the original and what was the remaster. I don't know.
Oh man, there ain't no way in the world you gonna get me to play this game.
No, there's no way that game needs to belong in the past. You need to remake it. Now, if they remade it, then okay, but nah. This remaster is yeah. Some games shouldn't be remastered.
I thought I saw some people talking about this one, Lunar remastered collection. All right, no one cares. Here on the okay.
I surely do not fucking care.
I don't care about that.
Metro
Awakening VR.
Cool for people who like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've never liked the Metro games. No, I mean I acknowledge that there have been very visually impressive games in the past, but like playing them, I always found them boring. So.
Oh nah, Metro games are so good. They are so good. Metro is a fantastic series. And I actually kind of got baited because I didn't see the PSVR 2 logo and I saw Deep Silver and then from the creators of Metro. based on the novels, and I was like, oh, they're showing a new Metro game, and no, it's just Metro in VR.
Yeah. This big skip for me.
Shame.
Forte and Luca, are you guys gonna play this VR title?
I don't have a PlayStation VR.
I know.
Okay.
Monster Hunter Wilds. Sing, I'm pretty sure you care a lot about this, right?
Oh, I do. Yeah. I mean, it's a fantastic new look, but we've already seen enough of this game. Like, I don't want them, because my worry is we're gonna keep seeing this over and over until it releases. Like, I'm sure we're gonna see it at the Game Awards. We're gonna see it at Tokyo Game Show. Well, we've already seen it at Tokyo Game Show. We'll see it at the Game Awards. Like, I'm sure we'll see it at like another State of Play or another Xbox show. Just it looks great. We know what to expect, so. Just let it release. Stop showing the game, please. Otherwise, we'll end up in a Deathloop situation.
Oh, it said there February 20.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, February is going to be a big month again. It's a lot of games coming out in February.
Because Avowed comes out around... When does Avowed come out? Was it February? Or was it March?
I think it's February.
Yeah, I think it's February, so I'm screwed again, because... They always do this. Games I'm looking forward to, they just throw in the same freaking month. So, hey man, I mean, it'll be what it'll be.
Power World is out on PlayStation now. Came out the same day that they did the State of Play. So if you were interested in enslaving animals as well as humans on PlayStation, just talk to Singer to get all the tips on how to do that best.
Damn.
And enjoy yourself.
Oh yeah, I have a question for you. Speaking of slavery, Singer, what part of that thing you tagged me and so in did you really think that we would find amusement in? I want to be honest. Like I saw that, I was like, why did he think I would find this funny? And I just kept it moving. What's up with that?
Oh no, I just thought it was.
Oh okay.
It was when it related to our conversation a while back about League of Legends, about when we were talking about the old COD lobbies and whatnot.
Okay. I was just like, I need some more context. All right.
Yeah. I didn't give enough context. Okay. Yeah, that was on me. I should have put a bit more context in, but I was just trying to,
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Slow-mo, did you see what he tagged us in?
I was busy and I saw, and I didn't look into like detail because I didn't have time. But apparently I didn't need to. So
somebody in League of Legends got lynched for saying, what are you saying?
He got what?
Oh, sorry, not lynched. He got banned for saying.
I was like, what?
Sorry. He got banned for saying, this. What do you say? This N-word is trash. He should be lynched or something. Is that what?
Wow.
East should be lynched. Should be lynched. And it was funny because it was.
It was funny, huh?
No. It was funny.
You found lynching funny.
No. Hang on, I have to explain this. Because what he said.
It just sounds bad without context, doesn't it, Singer? You got to add context to these things, man.
I do have to say add context, because what he said was he's the nicest League player when he atted Riot, saying he's the nicest League player, and then they displayed what he sent in-game chat. And what I said was that if that's the limit of what he said, then he is the nicest player, because there is way more vile, foul shit that goes on in those chats constantly.
Worse than you N-word, you should be lynched.
Way worse.
The same people that are lusting after little pixels on the screen are calling people racial slurs and saying they should be lynched. That's very, very on brand, I think.
I mean, to be fair, they were saying crazy stuff in those COD lobbies back in your day, right?
Yeah,
they were, but like, I mean, you would have like the random like 12-year-old kid go, shut up, N-word, but they wouldn't be like, I can't wait for you to be lynched. They would just, laugh.
I've heard some old clips from those COD lobbies. That's very concerning stuff, actually.
I mean, like they'd be like, shut up and eat your watermelon, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
You played that game, Slow-mo? You were playing a game where they had people saying that kind of stuff. Oh my god! Wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
and if we
everyone-
talked about like, I mean, yeah, I don't think they were like. I'm not saying they're very fine people on both sides at all. I'm not. That's not the kind of energy I'm on. They're absolutely garbage human beings who probably
Oh,
grew
my
up to be
goodness.
garbage human beings playing League of Legends. This is probably
no,
the same
I mean,
people.
it's the same people, but that's what I meant about how the Call of Duty lobbies are alive and well. They just that comes back to the toxicity of the game League of Legends. And to answer Saber, I don't say anything because I'm an intelligent person, and I hit
Oh,
/
okay.
I hit / mute all, and it mutes all chats, all pings, all everything in game on my team and the enemy team. So you hit
I remember.
/
I will
mute
never
all.
forget when I was playing Dragon Age 3. This was back when I was co-oping all the time. I was like helping someone fight some bosses. Probably one of the most racist people I have ever met and had the experience of talking to. Dude was saying, and you could tell he was white. And dude was saying the N-word with the hard ER constantly in our little party chat that we had. And I was like, oh my goodness, wow. It's pretty crazy. And I was on Dark Souls 3, man. So it really is one of those things where it's just like you find these people fucking everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I needed you to add some context because I was like,
Yeah,
what about
yeah,
this is funny, Singer? What about this
Yeah,
is fucking funny?
I
You know?
meant to add that this is an example of the toxicity
Yeah, I got you.
in League of Legends, and there's a reason why they after 10 years they haven't implemented voice chat in League. Do you wonder why after 10 years voice chat still doesn't exist? Yeah,
I
this is the reason why.
I think we know why.
Yeah, so Stellar Blade's getting a collaboration with Near Automata, whatever you
People
want to
gonna
call
live
it.
in that
like-
camera mode.
Oh, I feel
Oh
like that's
yeah,
a nice that's a good combo there.
it is. It's a very good collaboration. 2B and Eve both have kind of the same appeal to the same demographic, so I think it's smart and it works. I also like the Near Twitter account said, "Hey, well, we don't mind taking money." So they just admitted, "Hey, look, we got paid to make sure allow her in the game, so we'll take it." Yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, you may as well have 2B, and I know that photo mode is going to go popping on PlayStation. The thing is, it's like
True.
the photo mode is nice, but we don't really need that on PC when it comes to PC because, we have other means. But yeah, I mean, shout out to 2B being in the game, but it makes sense, right? If you think about it, 2B was very popular for other reasons apart from being a good character. So it makes sense you'd throw her into Stellar Blade, right? Because you have what is better than one good thing? Two good things. I mean, so
Yep.
they know what they're doing.
I need to finish that game. I'm at the end and I just forgot to go back to it. So it's not a bad game at all. It's actually a pretty good game. Outside of the people who were the controversy of, oh, they nerfed her because they added some fabric on one skin, discussion, and the games media people getting triggered over some digital pixels. It was just weird talk, but like underneath all that was a pretty good game. So just gotta get back and finish it.
Okie dokie. All right.
But,
Midnight Walk. This looks interesting, but I don't know. I might get it. I might not. It depends on my mood.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is? Yeah, I'm not getting this. It reminds me of. I can't remember the name. Not Little Nightmares. What does it remind me of?
Really, it reminds me of Little Nightmares.
Maybe it's Little Nightmares. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not playing it.
Also, there was that one game. Am I crazy to say Psychonauts? Am I crazy for that?
Maybe.
So yeah, well, art direction wise, yeah.
Yeah, Psychonauts. Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely see that. Yeah.
Okie dokie. So yeah, I don't care about the rest of these. Can you keep scrolling? Keep Sonic.
Keep scrolling.
Hey, we definitely don't care about Sonic. You know what? Let me go back up because Ghost of Yotei was up here.
Oh, right. Ghost of Yotei. I
Yeah.
thought people would be excited about this, but then I did see, and then I saw people saying, oh, the grifters are going to have a field day. And I was like, oh, maybe not. But then I saw that they were, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, they were, because
I was
they can't
like,
help
okay.
themselves.
A
They were
woman
like,
in my
a
game?
woman in a video game? How dare you? I mean, to be fair, the same people complaining were the same people who found out Samus was a woman after all that time, and then they revealed she was a woman, and they probably all just suddenly jumped off a cliff together or something. So yeah, they're the same kind of people. I don't know why. The game looks amazing, and
I
other
just think
people are
it's
like,
funny.
well,
Oh, go ahead, finish.
other people are like, well, where's Jin? It's like, did you see the year it was dated? It's 1603. The guy is dead, old age. Jin no longer exists. Congratulations, he's buried in the ground. So, like, you got a new character, and it's good to make a new story. I mean, so not all games need sequels, direct sequels. Like, you just don't need it.
Yeah. This takes place 300 years after the events of Ghost of Tsushima. So yeah, Jin is definitely dead. I thought it was funny with the people just like they just going to disrespect Jin like that. Jin was in one game, moron. You acting like this is Nathan Drake being retired in the Uncharted series after 4 games. It was one game, bro. And the series, like if you want to look at it as an IP as a whole, it's less the Ghost of Tsushima IP and more the Ghost IP. Because, and I think this is better for them because it's almost kind of like with Assassin's Creed, where each Assassin's Creed has like features a different assassin. This is like each Ghost game can feature a different ghost in a different, time period and region of Japan, and it allows things to stay fresh. Frankly, if you played and beat Ghost of Tsushima, Jin's story is done. Like there really isn't, like if you bringing him back in the sequel, I feel like the impact of the story would be less. Like his story arc has been completed. It ended in a way that I thought was satisfying. And if you bring him back, then you're going to kind of like make someone's ending non-canon because, and we can talk about this at this point. The game been out for forever. You have the choice at the end to kill your uncle or spare him. And for some people, they may feel pretty strongly about which decision to make. And if you bring him back and then bringing him back, of course, we talked about this with like Dragon Age games and Mass Effect games. When you choose to bring a character who's not the main protagonist in the story with a canon version of that, there are people who are going to be upset because the choices that you made that you now have made canon for that character weren't the choices they made in their game. And so it weakens the experience for them. If you bring in a Jin Sakai that spared his uncle, the people who didn't spare their uncle are going to feel some kind of way about it. It's best to just go with a whole new protagonist on a whole new story, and now let that story just live on its own and actually like stand up compared to the previous story on its own with a whole new character, the whole new antagonist, and whole new region. And going forward, it's good for Sucker Punch to kind of set that tone, because the game after this, if they do another Ghost game, let's say it's Ghost of Tokyo, I don't know, right? People are going to know it's going to be a different protagonist. They're not going to be expecting, I forgot her name. They're going to expect someone different. You're setting the tone for the series, and I think that's smart. Forte?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm here.
If you're not paying attention, of course.
Well, I was talking to my wife just now.
So like I said, you're not paying attention.
Well, yeah, my wife takes precedent.
Luca, your thoughts since Forte got none?
I agree with you, but I didn't play Ghost of Tsushima myself, so for me personally, like it wouldn't have affected me one way or another. I don't even know if I would play this one either. I started Ghost and I ended up stopping for some reason. But yeah, it is funny. I saw this as a talking point. A lot of people who are using Ghost of Tsushima as so like fuck Assassin's Creed Shadows because we got Ghost of Tsushima. I just don't say people are like Ghost of Yotei. Ew, women. Ew, do I gotta play as a girl? I'm like, oh brother. Oh my goodness. So yeah. Like I understand what you're saying in the aspect of when it comes to character choice and whether or not people will feel like their choices that they made that they felt strongly on are invalidated because they bring back like a canon version of events. I get that myself, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, personally speaking, I don't care. You know, I have no interest in this game one way or another. Be it a woman or a man, I don't really care about. Like, there's nothing about this that appeals to me personally, so it's not something I care about. The people who like Ghost of Tsushima, I think they should give this a chance though. Like, if they think Ghost of Tsushima is a good game, if they really enjoyed it, there being a woman now and them doing a new story, I don't think it should change your perspective on it. If you think Sucker Punch did a good job with Ghost of Tsushima, you should trust and believe that they have the same kind of expertise when it comes to this aspect of it. I saw some people upset about the voice actor and the mocap person for the main character, and I think they just have like an auto block feature on where they block people who have certain terminology that they use throughout their account, because a lot of the anti-woke grifters were all like auto blocked, and they were complaining about it because they're losers. And I think, honestly,
Of
I'll
course.
be honest with you guys. I think if you complain about being blocked, you're a loser. I will never understand that concept where it's like you get so like you're like, oh, I triggered this person, I offended this person so badly, gotta block me. I'm like, first of all, no one you don't deserve to have unlimited access to another person, especially not another stranger on the internet. The feature exists because some people just don't want to fucking deal with you, and that's okay. You being blocked is not like a personal slight against you. It's just, man, I just don't want to fucking deal with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like you deserve to have access to me, and I don't want to interact with you at all. There's nothing about you that I find compelling, and I don't want to interact with you. And I feel like that's okay. Being like, oh, you're soft because you're blocked. I'm like, you're soft because you care that you were blocked. Because me, I've
Right.
been blocked by so many people, and I'm just like, oh, okay. I'm blocked by people. I get. It's always really funny though, because like I'll get into arguments with somebody, and I'll say something real vile, right? And then they block me, and I'm just like, oh, I guess the conversation's over. There's just nothing I can do about it, you know? I just move on to the next thing. But I think that if you're someone who does say, like, the thing I don't like about some of the anti-woke grifters is that they're in like complete denial about how they're fucking terrible people. In the sense
Right.
that it's like, bro, you are prejudiced. Like, I listened to one of the people who was complaining about the chick blocking them. I went to go watch his video, and however you may feel about trans people and LGBT people, dude was deliberately misgendering the creative director of Dragon Age. Like he just kept calling that chick a he or whatever, just out of malicious intent. And then he started talking about like he was just saying some real vile stuff, right? I'm just kind of like, why are you surprised that you got blocked? You're like, you're a fucking hateful fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. It's the same where it's like somebody called like if you call somebody like an it just because it's like, okay, you don't understand trans people, you think it's a mental illness, you find it disgusting, however you may feel about it, it's like you are choosing to use dehumanizing language, and then when someone says you're hateful or you're prejudiced, you're like, I'm not hateful and prejudiced. What are you talking about? I mean, like, just because I said this hateful thing doesn't mean I myself am hateful as a person. You're just sensitive. I'm like, bro, you called me an it. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're in complete fucking denial, dude. It's weird. You're weird.
People don't
are
know how to
strange, man.
own their own, like it's they want to pretend to be bold enough to treat people like garbage, but then when they get pushed back, they want to act like it's like the whole throw a rock and hide your hands kind of deal. Like, no, own that. If you want to be a prejudiced bigot, say you're a prejudiced bigot. You know, and I mean, I'm gonna block you either way, so you might as well just be real about it and stop being a coward.
Yeah, I love when people are honest about uh like when someone says something racist, it was like, that's racist. I'm like, yeah, I'm racist, you know? So, like, I love that shit because it's like, okay, you're a hateful fuck, but at least you're honest. I'll take an honest bigot over a fucking a lying prejudice cuck, honestly speaking, because like you're just you're dishonest. You're dishonest with yourself. You want to straddle both lines. You want to pretend like you're not a disgusting human being for having that kind of hateful rhetoric in your heart and spewing it. You know, like it's like several years ago, I went on this dude's channel. Oh, it was
I
so
remember
funny to
that.
me. You remember that? This guy was
Yeah.
on Twitter saying he was like, black girls don't play video games. And I mean, like, that's just objectively false, right? So it's like whatever. But he was so hateful and so racist and just spewing. He was saying the N-word. He was calling folks coons. Like, it was just crazy, right? I went on his channel just to like, because he had like this perspective where he was like, yeah, I'm gonna get one of these N-word girls to come on here and argue with me and stuff like that. And it was like, because he was just he wanted to push a narrative, right? Push an agenda that, like, you know, we're irrational and emotional and can't handle like conversation and stuff, right? So I went on there and I was just like, yeah, what you say doesn't really bother me. I don't really think much of it because I just think that you're racist. Like, you're just a racist person. You know, you're just racist. He's like, oh, yeah, okay. And it's just like, I can't get angry at people like this because it's just like, what are you talking about? Like, you're just not a good person, and that's okay. Just own the fact that you're not a good person and move on. You know, like, stop straddling the fucking line. Like, I say terrible things. Like, okay, I have mental health issues, right? I've been suicidal before. You know, I'm prefacing this, right? I have no qualms telling people to, like, you know, what are the kids saying? Unalive themselves, delete themselves, as Teru Mikami said in fucking Death Note. That's actually one of my favorite go-tos. I like KYS. I got banned off Twitter for telling someone that. I fucking love it because I just, like, you know, there's just some people who I think should do that, you know? And I don't have any issues like admitting that. But it's like you said, there's these grifters, they come on here, they say the most disgusting things imaginable. And then when you're like, that's pretty disgusting, bro, they're like, what are you talking about? You're just sensitive. You just can't handle it, you know? So, I mean, that's my anti-woke little tirade there. I don't like the super woke people either. They're so fucking annoying, dude. When it comes to like the Hogwarts Legacy situation in particular, if you buy this game, you're a bigot and you're transphobic. I'm like, that's actually not how that works, Habibi. You know, it's not how it works, you know? But like, I'm telling you, it's like those anti-woke people are just, they're especially irritating right now just because they're on Dragon Age's ass right now. I'm like, those goddamn trans scars are the least of that game's problems, okay? But anyway, that's how I feel about it. So I hope the game is good. Whatever, I'm not interested in it. It has nothing to do with anything other than me not being interested, you know?
Yeah. You know, I think it'll be good. I think Sucker Punch makes good games for the most part. I know a lot of people weren't all that cool with Second Son, and I never finished it because I didn't really enjoy it too much. I did buy what's it called? First Light, the expansion recently because I wanted to give it a try. But
Infamous?
Yeah. Infamous.
Not me forgetting that they fucking did Infamous. Oh my god. When are they getting back to that?
Probably never. I think they've gotten so much more critical acclaim for the Ghost game, the Ghost of Tsushima, than any of the Infamous games. So I think they're probably just going to stick to this now. If Sony ever goes back to the Infamous IP, it probably would be like another studio to do it, to take it on with like veterans from Sucker Punch to kind of guide it, stuff like that. You know, kind of how we see them do with Until Dawn. Like Until Dawn, Supermassive made that originally, but now Ballistic Moon is doing the remaster and potentially a sequel. So yeah, they'll continue IPs on. I've been hearing this rumor for years that another Uncharted is in the works, but it's not being made by Naughty Dog. So it's just, they'll continue IPs on that they think they can make money off of, but they won't let that hinder the creativity of the studios that originally made them. Yeah, so
Did you play Ghost of Tsushima, Nautical, or no?
No, I didn't.
Okay. All right, so
I beat the game on PlayStation, and I started it on PC, but just had too much to play and just kind of put it on the back burner for now. I'll finish it before Yotei comes out next year, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about this damn Assassin's Creed. That's true, Lino. What do I have interest in? You're right. You're right. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so Assassin's Creed Shadows got delayed. I've been praying for the downfall of Ubisoft for so many fucking years. Ever since they first introduced those tiers that they have for like their gaming when they okay, let's see here. Let's do Assassin's Creed Origins gaming versions. I will never forget. I was fucking on crack cocaine when I did this, right? So, okay. So, Ubisoft, they did the whole deluxe edition, then they did the gold edition, and then they did the steelbook edition, aka like the legendary edition. You fucking bastards. You fucking bastards. They have the gods edition, the dawn edition, you know, like you fucking bastards, Ubisoft, bro. They make me sick to my fucking stomach when it comes to these editions of their games, right? I have been preying on their fucking downfall. Matter of fact, hold on, let me send this to you. I need one of you to share your screen. I need one of you to share your fucking screen. I'm sending this right now.
Okay.
I'm sending it right now. Fucking bastards at Ubisoft, dude. I'm so happy their stock price fell into the fucking mud. They deserve it. They deserve it for this shit, man. They've gotten away with this shit for far too fucking long, dude. But I posted it in the private chat if you could just grab it. Just looking at it started making me angry. Okay. Okay. Start zooming. Scroll. Can you zoom in a little? All right, so we'll start scrolling down. Start scrolling down. Okay. Gold, Dawn, and Legendary comparisons. You see that shit?
What?
Do you see that shit? Keep scrolling.
$800.
Keep
Holy
fucking
crap.
scrolling. Does this not fill you with a sense of fucking rage? Keep scrolling. Keep fucking. This is the bullshit they were doing. Look at this shit, man. Ubisoft, they've gotten away with this shit for far too fucking long, dude. They are sick fucking bastards for this. All right.
Why does a single player game have a season pass or a battle pass?
Sick fucking bastards. Okay. The fact that they were able to get away with this, and it wasn't just this game, it's multiple of their fucking games, is egregious. Okay. I've been praying $800 for Assassin's Creed fucking Origins. I have been praying on their fucking downfall for years because of this shit. Okay. Their stock went from like $25. It's at $2 or some shit, man. Let me look this up actually. Ubisoft.
So this $800 collector's edition comes with a premium eagle skull amulet that looks like something you get out of Spencer Gifts. A certificate of authentication on, I don't know what that is. The statue looks pretty dope.
Not $800 dope.
True. 4 lithographs. I can't even see them. Like there's just you just see one. With these other ones could just be like a dust ball moving in the wind and some other crap. Like what is
you fucking bastards?
Official soundtrack, you know, that oftentimes gets bundled into deluxe editions for $5. Steelbook Gold Edition, another steelbook. So you got 2 steelbooks, a map, and art cards, and an art book. Oh, and a pre-order mission that they spliced out of the game, another naval mission that they spliced out of the game, and cosmetics that they also paywalled as well.
Yeah, like
$800.
they're not seeing heaven, okay? They're not seeing heaven for all the fucking sexual harassment that they were doing up in there, but they're also not seeing heaven for this bullshit, right? Their stock has gone from, okay, so it was at, oh sorry, the highest it was at seemingly, let's see the max. Highest was at $22 a share in 2018, right? $22 a share at 2018. Their stock is at $2. All right. Ubisoft is going down. Get them the fuck up out of here. I have been waiting, and I love Assassin's Creed. I have been an Assassin's Creed fan for such a long time. They need to get the fuck up out of here, man. Shut that shit. Shut them down. Okay. But the only very disappointing aspect of this is that it's just coming at a really bad time. You know, it's just coming at a really bad time because they're coming out. They came out with that Star Wars Outlaw, and people were complaining about the female lead in the game did not do within expectations. Okay, and it didn't review well, right?
It reviewed okay.
Just okay.
It didn't sell. Just okay, but it didn't sell what they were expecting it to sell.
Yeah, it's just fucking bastards, right? So, and now we got the Assassin's Creed Shadows controversy. So it just like the downfall of Ubisoft just came at a really bad time. And it sucks because again, I have been fucking preying on their fucking downfall. They're bastards for such a long time. But it's just, just really bad timing. And now all these idiots in the anti-woke community are like, it's because of the Assassin's Creed Shadows thing. I'm like, no, this has been happening for a long time. Okay?
Yeah, they always overvalue their impact on things. Like, yeah, our boycott worked. No, it didn't. Your boycotts never worked. This has been in the works with Ubisoft for a long time. They lost their credibility. Like what we just showed, that was from Origins. How long ago? That was like 2017. You know, that was like 7 years ago.
Something
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
2015?
This has been a long time coming. They haven't had much credibility out there with gamers, and even when they make good games that people like, they don't sell. Like Prince of Persia: Lost Crown that came out earlier this year, really good game, didn't really sell that well. People forget that sometime last year, the CEO Eves came out with a statement that essentially said, if these next few games coming out don't do well, things are going to change. So good luck and try harder or something like that. It was a really bad, motivational letter that was sent internally. Right around that same time, the Yves Guillemot Family Trust, where his whole family has ownership, and has the majority ownership in Ubisoft itself. They gave I think they sold half of that to Tencent, and Tencent already has the majority amount of shares that one entity or company can have in Ubisoft already. So, I mean, this pretty much is all going to me looks like Tencent is going to be owning Ubisoft really soon, maybe sometime by this time next year. It's a done deal. And I'm not saying I like Tencent, but they probably are going to be able to run this better than the Guillemot family has. But the impact this is going to have on the game industry is going to be pretty massive. Ubisoft has 20,000 employees across the world. They might have the most employees in gaming overall, maybe even more than Microsoft. And their market cap is less than $2 billion though. So part of the reason why I don't think they've been acquired yet is because of the massive number of people that you will have to manage and maintain. And ain't nobody really trying to do that. So whoever does buy them, if it is Tencent, it wouldn't surprise me if they lay off half of the staff there. So we're talking 10,000 people losing their jobs in a short time period. That's not what anybody wants to see, but they need some major change. And maybe this will be something that will allow them to start getting some of that creativity back that they currently don't really have, or no one really thinks they have. I just need my Division 3, honestly. I just want Division 3. So if they can stay alive, long enough to give me that, I'll be happy.
Yeah, that's not happening. But shout out to Aquarius Kudo with the
Hey,
super chat saying Ubisoft in 2024 is the Celtics Shack? What is that?
Shaquille O'Neal, the version of Shaquille O'Neal that played for the Celtics. He was not good.
Oh, okay. It's good to know. Thank you, Kudo. Man, I don't know anything about any of that shit. Shout out to Marvin Israel saying, if they don't do right by their devs and customers, I hope Ubisoft is humbled. RIP Tom Clancy, because they killing those dope franchises. That's fucking facts, dude. It's, fucking bastards. And shout out to Ronald with Dono saying, I got tricked out of $200 when I pre-ordered Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite Collection Edition. It taught me to be cautious. Yeah, man. Let me tell you something. I appreciate the super chat, Donos, guys. Thank you so much. Let me tell you something. You really just cannot trust these corporations when it comes to these anything with any of this shit, man. Like, I think the first and last time I thought about a collector's edition, I genuinely considered buying that Fallout 76 collector's edition, right? Initially, right? I was like, oh, that looks awesome. I might buy that. And then as more and more of the game came out, I was like, oh, more and more about the game came out. I was like, oh, maybe not. And you know what? That was like the biggest W I've ever taken. Maybe like third biggest W I've ever taken in the gaming space in terms of like not spending my money. So you just gotta be really mindful about that stuff, because rarely, unless they're giving you like a really cool $800 Ubisoft, you fucking bastards. At least
that's a
you
lot.
sick fucking bastards, dude. Like, I'm thinking about the other collector's editions that feature statues. What I think the highest is like 300 that we've seen. $800? You fucking you sick fucks, dude. Get Ubisoft the hell up out of here. I really feel for the people who are going to lose their jobs. Genuinely, I do feel, because it's such a terrible market right now. But Ubisoft as a whole, yeah, get them the fuck up out of here, bro. Like, for real. Like, genuinely. They deserve everything that's happening. Fast and easy money is not sustainable, okay? It's volatile. And there's always a ceiling. And if I was such a big Assassin's Creed fan, but then I started feeling the fatigue. I was like, I kind of don't want to play another Assassin's Creed. I also, listen, I did not like Connor very much in Assassin's Creed 3. I didn't like him very much, but it's kind of hard to live up to the peak that was Ezio Auditore, in my opinion. Okay? My opinion. Right? Ezio's still that guy. Okay? So, I mean, it is what it is. I like the last Assassin's Creed I played to completion was Origins, and Origins pissed me off. So I picked up Odyssey, and I barely played any Odyssey. I played Valhalla, but then I started feeling a little fatigued, man. I was like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. So I saw Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I was like, I'm not getting that. Like, you're not getting my money again, Ubisoft. All right, you're not cucking me again. All right. But you know what? Assassin's Creed Shadows might end up being like the last Assassin's Creed game with how things are looking. Your stock dropping by $18 is like really bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, your value as a company has plummeted. It's bad for them right now. So sucks to suck, but it is what it is, man. And it has to be it has so much to do with Ubisoft's practices as a business as a whole, them releasing broken, buggy games, them releasing list simulator games where you would just you knew what you were getting with an Ubisoft open world game. Them releasing these games that were formulaic and just boring. This was a slow, steady decline, you know? And it's really unfortunate because like I really enjoy like Far Cry 3 is oh my god, that game is so amazing still to this day. I was playing it a couple years ago on my PC. I was like, this shit is just fucking heat, dude. it's amazing. That is a game that still holds up to this day. I still think Assassin's Creed 2 and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, in my opinion, those are my favorite. Brotherhood's my favorite Assassin's Creed game, but those games, I think a lot of the earlier Assassin's Creed games do still hold up to this day. I think you go back now and actually play them and enjoy them. Probably on something that has a better frame rate, like a PC, right? But yeah, I just think it's really unfortunate because again, it's been like a slow and steady decline in quality, and innovation, and even with the games they do innovate on, like what Immortals Phoenix Rising, it doesn't sell crazy well, even if it's received well. So it's like they have to factor that in as well. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that it's really unfortunate. It is coming at a time when the whole DEI woke shit is going on because now it's like, yeah, another woke company has fallen. Ubisoft woke. The developers who were like, we actually don't know how to develop the female form as a main character. That Ubisoft
People don't play games. They don't play games. It's so obvious when they say things like that, and it's just like
exactly
what are you
what
talking
Ubisoft
about?
are y'all talking about? Ubisoft, which has been well known to be the company with major instances and issues of sexual harassment and sexism. That Ubisoft. What are you talking about with this DEI shit, bro? And aren't they like French or some shit? What is Ubisoft?
They're French.
Oh yeah, I know those bastards are fucking racist. I know those bastards are fucking racist too. So I'm just kind of like, guys, you got to start being fucking serious. They do 1 or 2 games where they start adding some inclusivity, and now they're fucking woke. That's like a terrible fucking company to call. They're horrendous. All right, horrendous when it comes to that kind of stuff. They are probably up there with like top tier most horrific companies to work at when it comes to being a fucking minority in the gaming industry. Them, and then Activision Blizzard. You know what I'm saying? Spooky ass companies to work for. Those are the companies I'd be like, hell fucking no, you couldn't catch me there. You couldn't catch me at any of these companies regardless. But like still, I absolutely fucking not. So it's just bad timing.
Now that stock prices have dropped, hopefully someone buys them and actually sets them on the right course. Like Tencent, go buy Ubisoft, get rid of everything and just go full. This is what you're gonna make good games, please, because Ubisoft is not the Ubisoft I remember. Back when they made good Tom Clancy games. Those were the good times. When Prince of Persia was a thing, The Sands of Time first came out.
I love Prince of Persia. I love was it the Two Thrones or something? Is that what the game was called?
Yeah. I just love
the Sands of Time. I fucking love Prince of Persia, dude. That shit was fire. That shit was fire, man.
I thought it was pretty unique, being able to freeze time. I was like, oh, this is actually really good. And then Ubisoft turns into now, and it's unfortunate, but hey, what can you do? Also, by the way, it's hilarious how Assassin's Creed got delayed to the exact same date that Avowed did, which is absolutely hilarious. They come out on the same day.
You think? I think Avowed's probably gonna do better, depending.
Oh, Avowed's gonna do perfectly fine.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I didn't put up the topics list. Which DM are you talking about, Miko? Twitter DM? I don't see anything. Oh, yeah, I see it now.
Did you talk about Metaphor, Luca?
Oh, here we go. I did not. Thank you. I see it. I did see that, actually. I did see Keith say that. Mighty Keith said Ghost of Yotei takes place around the same time Yasuke was in Japan. Sucker Punch has the opportunity to do the absolute funniest shit, which that would be like a double whammy of it being like fucking Ubisoft. That would like really fuck them over. But also like it would piss off those anti-woke grifters so much too, dude. It would be so funny. That's a good one. Anyone who's Who's a member? You guys still want me to put up the members? I could put it up last minute, and you guys could drop something real quick. Just let me know, yes or no, yay or nay. But talk about Metaphor, Singer.
All right. So, shout out to Sacred Atlas. They decided to release a demo of the prologue to the beginning of the game, and I was incredibly hyped for it, and actually being able to play it. Now, the combat is very Persona. People play Persona, you kind of understand how the combat goes. But what I like is they kept it the whole fantasy thing. Is none of the school stuff is refreshing. And I really like the music is spot on. Oh, the music is slaps. And the characters seem fine. We obviously have to wait for the full game to find out how they if they develop and how they develop. But it looks to be interesting, and I can't wait to play it. I advise you, if you enjoyed Persona or if you enjoyed SMT, do give the game a pickup because it is well worth your time. I think it will be a fantastic game. A few of the nitpicks, though, would have to be the boss fights. They're kind of uninspired, I would say. Like the initial boss fight when you're at the beginning, it's kind of like, I understand they need to introduce their version of what a persona is. They call them archetypes. So you could be like a wizard, you could be a knight, you could be a swordsman. But like the way they did it is actually really good, because you know how Persona 3 you put the gun to your head and shoot yourself. Persona 5, you rip the mask off. In this one, you plunge your hand into your chest, and it looks like you just like go straight into your chest, and it's actually pretty cool. I like the way they keep coming up with new different ways to get stuff.
Oh, I like that. Like, I liked when they would shoot themselves with Persona 3. That was cool.
Yeah,
that was
like
awesome,
in this one, they literally just punch themselves in the chest, like where their heart would be. Like, I guess, and they just it's actually a really cool mechanic. The archetypes are fun, and unlike Persona, you can actually equip any character you have with a different archetype. So you could round out your party, so you could build like a squad. So if you have 4 people in your party, you could, like, this guy could be a knight, so he's in the front line. This guy could be a mage. This guy could be a healer or support. So I like the way they transfer it. They have a new version of the Velvet Room with a new Igor. Obviously, it's not Igor, but it's their version of the Velvet Room. But it's very... You could definitely tell the DNA is there, but it's very high fantasy. Very, very nice. It's a pretty game. So, yeah, I mean, I would say it's definitely worth a pickup. And download the demo. It's free. It's on PlayStation, it's on Xbox, it's on Steam. Just give it a shot, because you'll probably be surprised how actually good it is.
I wouldn't really call it a pretty game. It's fine.
No, I mean,
I think Persona 3 Reload looks better.
okay.
But I think that's also due to the fact that they built Persona 3 Reload in it's DX11 with a DX12 wrapper, where this is just DX11, but like the not open world, but the little hub world aspects visually don't look all that great, even though it's like horribly the demo is horribly unoptimized on PC. It runs better on consoles because it's not as unoptimized, and it's just one SKU to worry about on consoles. But I mean, it's fine. I echo a lot of things that Singer said. It has a lot of the same game design that you see from Persona and Shin Megami Tensei. So it's very similar to those games, just has a different UI aesthetic, as they all do. I do think the one thing that I find refreshing is that the characters are a bit different. Because what I started to notice with a lot of the Persona games is that they kind of, all these characters fall into the same character archetypes, where here is the girl that's kind of spunky or fiery or whatever. Here's the goofy guy that's comic relief, and it's just like, we're doing this again. Just like you see a character, as soon as they introduce him, you're just like, oh, that's like this other character from another Persona game. These characters seem very different, but I think that's also kind of due to the fact that it's not based in Japan. This is like this fantasy world with a whole different story that I'm kind of enjoying. So I think this is pretty good. I'll definitely be playing it when it comes out officially.
Yeah, I mean, and the main character actually has a voice.
Yeah, I was shocked when I heard it. I was like, oh,
yeah, I know. I
he
was like, hang
talks.
on a minute,
Okay.
the main character speaks. Oh shit, we have progression, people. But then at the same time, like the little fairy that's with you, it's kind of like your buddy. But I think there's gonna be a twist there somewhere down the line because everything seems too good to be true. Also, I like the book where it's actually just the real world, but it's being told through the book. Like they have the skyscrapers and everywhere is safe to walk around, and there's laws and stuff. I was like, that's actually interesting. Viewing real life, but through the book, from the point of view of the characters in the game. I was like, that's actually a nice little twist. I enjoyed that. Also, shout out to the asshole who throws you into the army. What a dick. But
yeah, that guy sucks.
Yeah. Fucking. Yeah. Yeah, him.
Okay. Well, yeah, I definitely think it's something that I'd be interested in playing for sure. It's like my type of game in the sense that I do like, again, I had a really good, I got like 80 hours or something in Persona 3 Reload, and like like 200 plus hours in Persona 5, and then I started playing Persona 4 on my my Steam Deck, or not my Steam Deck, my ROG Ally and stuff. So definitely something that I am looking forward to. I just gotta find my controllers. I don't know where they are. I feel like that says everything. The last time I saw my PlayStation controller, I was playing some Elden Ring. I did not. Oh, it's right there. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so I can. I'll download that. I gotta find my Xbox controller as well. So, all right. Damn. Did anything else happen this week?
Not really.
All right, I need to sniff some cocaine and go to bed. I love you guys so much.
Wait, Luca, that doesn't work. Cocaine keeps you up.
I have ADHD, so it's gonna make me fall asleep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I'm going to sleep. I started arguing with somebody. Ooh. I started arguing with someone on Twitter, and I gotta say, no matter how old I get, man,
Argument still lives.
that shit is never gonna go away. People are still gonna piss me off. But I'll be honest with you, I have started veering more towards, again, being less reasonable and more like, oh my god, speaking of less reasonable, real quick before I go, guys, I had this moment of pure fucking insanity yesterday. I was walking home from work, right? And I called my pharmacist, and my pharmacy's like, oh, yeah, well, we have your medication. Cool, right? Then they call me back. We're like, oh, actually, we don't have your medication. I'm like, oh, okay. So I call a different pharmacy just so I made a mistake. I call this pharmacy, and this pharmacy is not a well-known or well-respected pharmacy. They have some real bad reviews, right? I didn't look at the reviews before I called them, but the person I talked to on the phone, the attitude that she gave me, guys, y'all, it had me wanting to go up there. I wanted to drive up to that pharmacy and be like, who did I just speak to on the fucking phone? I just called. Which one of you did I just speak to? I just want to know. I just want to know which one of you it was, so I can look in your face, look up into your eyes, and see which one of you decide to give me that attitude. But I was like, that's crazy, right? I had to go and talk to my sister. My sister had to talk me down. My brother's like, yeah, you're tripping, G. I was like, all right. And what I'm saying is, as I've gotten older, I've gotten more I've gotten a little bit more crazy. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more crazy in regards to how I handle my confrontations, you know? In a different way. I used to curse people out and get so angry, but now I'm like a different kind of angry. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
is that crazy?
No, not really.
Nope.
Really? You don't think so? Because there was
Nah.
me that wanted to be like, "Oh, I just want to see what you looked like," and then walk out without like emphasizing anything else. To make
I mean, I think people do that pretty frequently.
yeah, okay. I just felt like it was irrational for me because I've never considered doing something like that before. But yeah. But then I'm not gonna go into detail about what else I wanted to say, but I'm just gonna move on. But anyway, great show. Nautical, it's so nice to have you on. I was thinking about you this week. I was like, damn, it's been a while since Nautical's been on. Maybe sometime in the future he'll get some time. So it's
I
always
just
nice having you, buddy.
Well, I'm always going to try to be here when I'm off. Like I got off at 3:00 today, and all the last couple of weeks, I just haven't been feeling all that great. I've been just like, ugh. I recently kicked sugar and stuff, and that was a toll. Like not drinking anything or eating anything with like actual sugar in it, other than the stuff other than natural sugar that was in it. I literally went through a week and a half of like sugar withdrawal, and man, let me tell you, that was a rough week. So, but yeah, I had to show up today because I literally was off work today, and I was like, well, let me jump on today.
I understand that, you know, and I do appreciate that. Let me tell you something about sugar. I definitely understand it. A lot of the things that we consume are not good for us. Take for instance, there was one day this week I did not drink coffee, and my mood was just so like I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? And then I realized around like 1 o'clock, I was like, oh, I didn't drink coffee today. I was like, oh, that's kind of bad. Like, I don't even drink a lot of coffee when I drink it. It's like it's either a cup or like less than half a cup I'll have. But the fact that I didn't have any, I was like tweaking. I wasn't tweaking. I got real mad at some at people. I was like, "Oh no." And the fact of the matter
Yeah.
is like a lot of the things that we consume on like a daily basis, like if you start trying to cut it out, your body starts going through withdrawals one way or another. And it's just because a lot of the stuff that we consume is just not good for us, right? It's like when I stopped drinking, I don't drink pop very often, like, maybe, like, once every 7 or 8 months, I'll have, like, a soda. I'll have, like, a Sprite or something, right? Or if my stomach hurts really badly, I'll have some ginger ale.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I don't drink soda like that, but quitting soda was so difficult for me. Ooh, I love me my Mountain Dew. I love the new flavors that would come out. Sprite was my favorite. Overall, when it comes to all the drinks, I fucking love root beer, like all that stuff. Like so delicious. But I stopped drinking it because it's empty calories. Sodas are like empty calories, and all that sugar is just not good for you, right? So you know, I also monitor how much, like, creamer I put in my coffee, like, I'm really mindful about that as well. It's just, like, it's difficult to, try to get healthy, dude. It really is, and that's why, you know, you shouldn't be doing I'm speaking in general, not lecturing you or anything nautical, but, like, that's why when people are trying to lose weight or just, like, fix or change their health, they shouldn't be doing things in, like, big intervals, right? They should be doing smaller, um they should be doing smaller things, like, and I honestly speaking, I feel like it's so easy to make excuses for everything, right? Like, I was talking to one
Mm-hmm.
of my friends today, and they were like, what did they say? We were having a conversation about, like, food, and I was like, "Oh, I had, like, these little miniature pizza I had a miniature pizza from Costco." And they're just like, "Oh, I could, like, eat that too, but, like, it just sucks that they get cold so quickly." I'm like, "What? No, they don't. What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Do they get cold quickly or do you just eat slow?" And they're just like, "Oh, yeah, I eat really slow." But, you know, it's difficult. And I was just like, "Well, you should start cutting your portions so your
Mhm.
food doesn't get cold. Because if you're taking so long to eat, then you don't need to, like, there's just no point in having all that food there because it's just going to get cold. And they're just like, well, I cook in bulk, like, so like, alas, I can't do that. I'm just like, what does cooking in bulk have to do with fucking portion control
Yeah.
when you have containers? I was like, what are you talking about? And they're just like, oh yeah, that's a good point. I'm like, yeah, it's like, I feel like people, when it comes to making changes, come up with like the most random fucking excuses where you can find a solution to something very quickly if you just like apply some thought, right? But the thing of it is that most people don't want to do that. They don't want to apply any extra thought. They just want to have their baseline excuse to not do better for themselves. And it's
Mhm.
like, like a general thing I've noticed with people. It's like, okay, hey, let's go do this. Let's switch up our food here. Let's switch up our diet here, or that kind of thing. And they're just like, oh, I can't do that because XYZ bullshit, right? And it's like I was hanging out with my friend last week. We were watching the new episode of Penguin. Woo! Fire! That shit is fire. That Penguin
Yeah, it
TV
is.
show on Max. Go ahead and watch that, guys. That shit is amazing. We were watching that, and I've been friends with this guy for like 11 years at this point, right? And he's always eaten poorly, right? And it's just like, but that day he was like, babe, you want some rice? You want some brown rice? I'm gonna make some rice and make some chicken, some greens. I'm like, okay. And it's because he ended up getting sick, and the pain was a very powerful motivator for him to like be like, oh, let me go ahead and switch up to be healthy. Let me start reconsidering what I'm putting in my body, that kind of thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a snacker. Like, I like the snack, you know what I'm saying? But it's all about like portion control. You can have the things that are delicious if you control the portions, right? Now there are certain things that I can't eat um in small portions, which is why I don't buy them, right? Like I try to keep them at the house. And that's why you guys, you gotta narrow down the foods that act like that are triggers for that kind of behavior, right? For me instance, salt and vinegar chips. Oh, fire, man. I will eat an entire fucking bag. An entire bag of the salt and vinegar chips I enjoy, that's like 740 calories, right? And that's not going to keep you full all day, right? So it's just like a waste. So that's the kind of food that I can't have in the house because I'll eat all of it. I also like french fries a lot. That's something I also can't be around, like, because I'll just fucking I'll eat it all, man. But other kinds of foods, I can do portion control for everything else. So I'm glad that you are finding new ways to improve your health, nautical. I think that's very important, especially as we all get older. I think getting enough sleep is very important. Slow mo, and I think that it's like making those kinds of changes for yourself. Like small changes are just it has such a huge impact, like long run. And then it's just kind of like that concept of like, well, like, do I want to suffer eating healthy and not being able to enjoy my delicious foods? I'm like, oh, you're gonna suffer from those health consequences, my boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't fucking switch that shit up. And I think that the biggest thing for me is I watched an episode of Mad Men several years ago, and the character Sterling, they would eat red meat, they'd have their steak every day, smoking their cigars, drinking their beers and stuff. And it's like, of course, the show is like said back in the day, like they did not have the same knowledge when it came to health issues, right? But I remember Sterling having like a heart attack or something, right? And he ends up in the hospital, and he thin guy, like wasn't overweight or anything like that. He just smoked a lot and ate a lot of red meats, right? And I remember him like breaking down into tears because he was having like these health complications, and it just really hit me where I'm like, I don't want to get sick, and that be like, I don't want to get really, really sick to the point where it's like it's too late, for me to make any changes. So I just think it's really important for people to really take their health into consideration, especially with like we're all getting older, and it's like my guys and girls who are in their 40s now. Like, I know that gaming is a very stationary kind of habit, you're sitting down, you're playing your game for hours upon a day, and for a lot of people, you're married with kids. Um, you have your own household responsibilities, you have your work responsibilities. Gaming is that brief respite for you. That it's that moment of peace where you can just enjoy yourself. And I definitely get that. And so, for some people they stay up late in order to play their game, right? Or they'll try to take some time in between helping out the kids or helping out the wife, right? And it's just like trying to have that balance there with that stress and enjoy yourself still, but also like keep up your responsibilities. And so something's going to fall to the wayside. And for a lot of people, the thing that falls to the wayside is their health. And I just really think that as we get older, as people, that's something that you should really start taking into consideration and working on. So those are just my thoughts on that. I'm a big proponent of pushing for health at this point, and I love to see people getting active, man. I love to see people making these changes for themselves to better themselves when it comes to this stuff, because we want you guys around for a very long time. I don't want to log on to my account and see that another one of people that have been so supportive and kind to me has passed, so but yeah. All right, guys.
Thank you.
I'll catch. Yeah. But yeah, go ahead and do the outros.
Cool. Well, Slomo already left. So DBS podcast Thursday, 9 p.m. with the homie Slomo. Check him out at Slomo Backslap. He does videos and stuff. So check him out. Me, Gaming Forte. Come check me out. YouTube, Xbox Live, PlayStation, no matter where. Same name everywhere. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Always got a great chat here on Saturday with Luca. And we really appreciate all the love and support that you guys bring. But with that, enjoy all the games you're playing. Hopefully, if you was one of the people that tried to get a PlayStation and you got one of those 30th anniversaries, you got one. Shout out to you, man, because it's great to be able to afford things in life because you took care of the things you needed to take care of, like to be able to do it. So shout out to you guys and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
All right, Singer. If you haven't,
Yeah. I'm here. Yeah, just quickly do that. So yeah, you can find me everywhere. Great show, great panel, and a new season of anime is starting. So there's a whole bunch of good stuff to look out for. There's like It's Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon season 5. We have Solo Leveling season 2. We have Shangri-La Frontier season 2. We have what else do we have? Yeah, a few other really good ones. So yeah, this is a good anime season. So
second season of
Sword,
Frieren also got announced.
Yep. Sword Art Online Alternative Gun Gale Online 2, which is long awaited. I absolutely adore Gun Gale Online. So glad that got a second season. Yeah, so the season coming up is going to be really, 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 really good. So if you enjoy your anime, yep, enjoy it because there's some bangers.
All right, sweet. Okay, I'll catch you guys later. Get some rest. I'm going to bed. I'll catch you guys later though. Yeah. And shout out to everyone who listens to the show. Shout out to everyone who listens later. Shout out to all Super Chat support channel members. Appreciate you guys. I'll catch you for another one. Peace, peace, peace. See you next week.